Racing Post Greyhound Television, brought to you in association with Bet365.com, Betfair, Betfred, Coral, Ladbrokes, Paddy Power, Unibet, and William Hill.
And away, it's a good start from Trap 5. Drop Zone is looking to lead into the first bend, being chased by Trap 4, the other edge. And it's 4 that goes on for Pat Rosney, being led down the far side by Trap 5, who's looking to challenge on the outside. But it's 4, the other edge for Pat Rosney, leads Elaine Parker's Drop Zone. In behind, you can see Borner Account making a big run for Pat Barclay, but off the last bend, it's a titanic finish of the Scottish Derby, but it's the other edge hanging tough. It's another Scottish Derby success for Pat Rosney. Swift Hoffman did the business for him a few years back. Now it's the other reg running out of Trap 4 for the Jones family.
Wow, what a night that was. Welcome to RPG TV. It's Scottish Derby final night, the big race. Who will follow the other reg into the record books? Live action from Shawfield tonight on a cracking card. Crayford as well. Welcome on board for what should be a top-class show. I'm joined in the studio this evening, as you may have noticed already, by Richard Hartness, the man currently leading the Naps table. Welcome, Richard.
Good evening, Phil. How are you?
I'm very well. Looking forward to some great action tonight.
Absolutely. Cracking night, isn't it?
It's always I've been there before, but I'll enjoy it from here, but it's always a fantastic night.
Yeah, like yourself, been up to Shawfield a few times, and yeah, fantastic night, great atmosphere, good racing on a very fair running track.
It certainly is. We are looking forward to catching every moment of the action from Shawfield tonight. And make sure we don't miss anything. We have 2 other members of the team this evening. Let's go across to Shawfield and catch up with Jason Barrisford and Tony Bullen.
Welcome to Shawfield for what promises to be a momentous night, the Rpgtv Scottish Derby, and what a lineup we've got. And I've got myself a new gilly, Tony Bullen. Hello, Tony.
How you doing, Jason? Delighted to be in Scotland for the first time ever.
I'm sure Scotland's delighted to have you here, Tony. Now, who's going to win the big one?
I'm with Verve. I mean, many are saying the draw's difficult. It is, but he's a class act, and I think it's going to be his night tonight.
We're going to hear a lot more from you throughout the night. Just give us another best bet for the night.
Raised the stakes in the race previous to the Derby. I think he ran well in the first round. Didn't quite happen for him in the semi-finals, but I think he's got a good draw. 6 is the main danger in that race. OK,
thank you very much. And as my gilly, go and fry that, would you?
Oh, no.
And now I'm going to go over to Daniel Ranking, racing manager here at Shawfield. We're going to ask you to briefly go through all the runners, but first of all, what a final.
It's a cracking final this year. It's a very good line-up with all 6 greyhounds. But the race could be made or broke on the 2 jacks. I think they're the key to the race. Cooning Jack in Trap 1 and Jaguar Jack in Trap 4. I think they could... with the Trap 1 Cooning Jack being 39 kilos and Jaguar Jack's the one with the early pace, I think, and desperate for the rails, I think that could lead to a bit of trouble if they all trap together.
Greenwell Jean will obviously be staying on?
Yeah, she'll be kind of out at the back to begin with, and if the trouble's there, it could help her. But to me, the way the line-up's made, you've got to think Nadal's going to get a nice run out of Trap 6, being the kind of middle to wide seed in with 5 dogs that like the rails.
Word about Irish Challenger Braveheart, Bobby can only improve?
Yeah, but I don't like the draw. I can't see it possibly clearing Cooning Jack. I don't give it any chance of clearing Cooning Jack. And with Cooning Jack being 39 kilos, you're not going to push that out the road.
And, well, I would say there's an elephant in the room, not so much an elephant, monster, Verve.
Yeah, Verve's just all-round kind of classy, but I just don't feel it's got the early pace in that kind of heat. I think it will get bother in that final, and I think it could lead to Nadal getting a nice run.
Excellent competition. You'd be touch relief when it's all over?
Yeah, it's great having the Scottish Derby, but you're glad to have it and glad to get rid of it.
Brilliant, Daniel. Thanks you very much. And, oh, hang on, there's my gilly. Tony, I told you to fry it, not eat it.
Marvellous stuff. I can't believe two men in Shorefield tonight and not a kilt amongst them. I'm sure we'll see a few as the night goes on. But great stuff from the lads. Let's remind you then exactly where we are racing tonight. Our two meetings, there we go. Shorefield, 12 races off at 7:16 the first, runs through to 10:27. Crayford, 12 races as well, 7:27 to 10:35. We've got a non-runner to tell you about there. In the 8:34, Razzle Dazzle Star's been withdrawn from Trap 6, so that will be a race for 5 greyhounds only. The 5th race there, Trap 6, is vacant. We'd love to hear from you at Rpgtv, especially on a big night like this. Who'd you fancy for the classic, the Rpgtv Scottish Derby? Email us rpgtv@racingpost.com if you prefer to tweet. There's a Twitter handle at rpgreyhounds. And a reminder of our YouTube channel there. Lots of interesting stuff to catch up with on there. Now, the Trap Challenge. This is the combined odds for the two meetings tonight. As you can see, Traps 1 and 3 are just disputing favouritism amongst the off-course betting there. Trap 4 not far behind. Bigger prices, the other 3. Looks like the bookies see it is 3 traps, only possible winners tonight. Okay, let's have a look at some stats then. This is the last 2 months. The hot boxes at Crayford. And a nice spread there, outside and inside, 6, 1 and 2 in that order. The hot dogs are running tonight. Well, I'm not sure if they are actually, so we'll move swiftly on for that. But the favourites, 36%, the strike rate if you follow the jollies. Let's have a look at the trainers then. Who's been going well and who hasn't? Well, Dean Childs, 27%. He's having a great time at the moment. On the colder side, well, not too bad, given how many runners there. Look, Tom Lever's 14%, but 256 runners, plenty of greyhounds running from his kennels at the moment. I'm sure there'll be plenty of winners coming his way soon. Okay, let's have a look at Shorefield then. These are the stats for the last 2 months up in Glasgow there. The hot box is 4, 1 and 6, 27% trap 4, big strike rate. Hot dogs running tonight, miles away. 4 from 6 runs at 7:16. Knockhard Recruit 4 from 8, 50% strike rate, goes at 9:37. Wee Nelly also going great guns, runs in the 10:10. The favourites, well, they like a favourite at Shorefield, 40% if you follow the jollies. Okay, there's a few stats hopefully pointing the way of a winner or two, but if not, I'm going to ask Richard now for his good bets of the night. Naps and next best, Mr. Harness.
Yeah, the naps at Crayford tonight in the 909. Trap 4, Chubby's Caviar, an Oaks finalist, more recently, winner of the Gold Cup at Henlow. Let's have a look. From Trap 5, doesn't come away brilliantly, but you know, as I said, she's an Oaks finalist, she's got pace, she's got a touch of class, and she gets herself in a really good position off the second bend. And from here on, this is 5:50 the trip, so the 5:40 Crayford tonight. I remember being on the show with Mark back at the turn of the year. I think it was actually New Year's Day, and he was hoping that Chubby's Caviar could be his Peter Bussey Memorial consecutive winner, but she had to miss the competition. And he said she's guaranteed to win a decent competition this year. Well, she's won this one here in good style, as we can see, straight down the middle. Trap 4 draw, be no problem for her tonight. She's had a spin round in a trial. That was pretty decent. I don't see what's not to like. No, well, the only thing, Rich, will be the price. She was 7-4 early today. Hopefully that'll hold during the course of the night. But yeah, looks a good thing. Yeah, next best is over at Newcastle in a sprint open. Agile Dorotus in Trap 2 for Andrew Harrison's kennel. Very impressive in her first sprint race at home track Newcastle. And a few times she's impressed me and showed lots of promise. And she's got plenty of pace. I really like her. So she's next best. And on with Trap 1 in the Trap Challenge, Phil. Good stuff. Thank you, Richard. Well, I'm simming off a similar hymn sheet because I've napped Chubby's Caviar as well. I agree entirely, Richard. I think she looks as if Crayford will be absolutely ideal for her. The 380 trial's decent as well. She got the nap. The Trap Challenge, I agree as well. Red Jacket. I know we're not agreeing on the big race, but I am then being Cooney and Jack. Interesting to hear what Daniel Rankin said there. I think he could be perfectly placed. He's a big dog. Only had Trap 1 once in his career. That was at Toaster, and he absolutely flew out on that occasion. I'm hoping he does the same tonight. A little bit of crowding behind. He could be massive value. So he's my MB and the Red Jacket for me for that Trap Challenge. Okay, there's been lots of early price races flying around today. Let's have a look at some of those. The Rpgtv 7 nights a week on Sky 431 Trophy.
Nice, easy tile of the rattle off there. And this one over the 300 metres. Chrono di Zero, 2 to 7 to 4 during the course today. Going to get my vote. I like the draw, like the makeup, but I know, Richard, you're a big fan of Agile Dorota as your MD.
Yeah, next best. Everything else moving off, I think it's a match 1 and 2.
OK. Let's move on and have a look at the 8-10. There's a betting there. Nadura Dutch. Greyhound I like a lot. I'm not quite convinced by this draw. I think might be a tricky draw, but obviously got the class.
Classy dog, dropped in class. I thought he could overcome the draw. Has won from middle pitches before, but yeah, you know, his strike rate's fantastic as well.
Yep, he's a handy dog, that's for sure. Let's have a look at the first of the finals then. This is the Rpgtv 500 final up at Shorefield, and you can see, well, the heats were tight, the times were comparable. Velvet Juliet has just been nibbled. Was bigger prize, I think, when the betting first went up for the final, but maybe will start jolly tonight.
Yeah, I think she probably will. She was quite impressive on debut, despite being beaten. She showed lots and lots of promise, but I think the draw here could be the key factor. I think Ballymartin Hero up the inside of her could make it interesting. Toolmaker Jet also got good pace up the inside, so I was looking around the outside, and Gazilli Shea won his heat last year, was runner-up in the final. This year, runner-up in the heat, win the final.
That's the one. Well, that's JK's anti-post tip in the Racing Post as well, so we'll be cheering him on as that final approaches. Now, Rpgtv Greyhound Trust West Scotland Trophy. There's the betting for the 8.59, 5-2 Sparta Master, but Razor Stakes, who Tony Buller mentioned, good support on the inside. Yeah,
about the 2 drawn dogs. I think Tony said he thought 6 was the big danger. I fancy 6. I thought 1 was the big danger.
OK. And the big race, of course, the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final. We will put it up for you in a sec. There we go. There's the rough betting that's been around during the course today. Will Verve go off odds against, or will it be odds on? They do like a favourite at Shorefield.
They do. When I was on the show last Saturday with James, and we talked about it then, and he said to me, I thought it would be odds against. Only just it is. If you haven't backed Droopy's Verve now, take the odds against, because I think, like you, Phil, at race time, I think the punters will back Droopy's Verve and make it odds on.
Yeah, I agree. And he's, of course, the class act as well. What a great breaker. Now, 7:16 at Shorefield. Kick starts our evening. It's an A1 top grade contest, and as you can see from the betting, Trap 1 just shading favouritism. Let's have a look at Greenwell Thea in action at Flaherty's Greyhound. 27th of April. Last time out was 3rd on this occasion from Trap 1.
Yeah, caught a little bit of a tartar here in Droopy Shark in Trap 3. Absolutely flew. Very, very impressive.
Runs later on tonight as well.
Does indeed, yeah. Steps up from graded company to open company in race 4 tonight against Nadura Dutch. Obviously nothing of that quality in this race, and that's why wins a long way. But Greenwell Thea, she's been running well in defeat. A little bit too often for me. That's now 11 races and yet to win. Good run here to be 3rd. I think she might just find 1 too good again.
Well, she's being backed on course. 2's into 6-4 now. So if you're not with a favourite, who are you taking on with?
I'm with the other one there's a bit of money for, Gotcloss Rhythm. Was known as Sparta Rhythm in Ireland, and his best run of all these runs I could assess was in an A1 win over 600 yards at Shelbourne Park. He did 32.65. His strong running style is a touch of class on that run as well, and he's made a winning debut in a handicap, and now hopefully he can transfer that to a flat start A1. He might have to come from off the back, but I think he can. OK, Trap 4 for Richard. I quite like Black East here. I didn't think it was it's very hard to get a handle on, is it? Because most of the racing at Shorefield is handicap racing, although there's been a few A1s final, and he was 2nd in that race we just watched, won by Droopy's Shark. So he finished in front of the favourite there. He's also been picking up a couple of wins in handicaps recently as well. His stats are good, 4 wins and 3 seconds from just 9 starts, which means to me he's a handy type of dog. So I'm going to give the 3 a chance against the favourite, who's very firm now at 6-4. Well, that run you mentioned last week, the one we watched on the VT behind Droopy Shark, Greenwell Thea 7-4 there, Black East 5-1. Very similar tonight.
Similar betting. I mean, there wasn't a lot between them, but say Black East did finish in front of Greenwell Thea, albeit Yeah, you get the impression that she probably got a bit more early than she showed on that occasion. She didn't come away, did she?
Yeah, she has come away before and gone round in front and still managed to find one too good for her. So, you know, she has got questions to answer. 11 races without a win. You can forgive 2 or 3 or 4 runs maybe, but 11 times, you know, the old saying would be, has she been unlucky 11 times?
Well, she's 6-4. Is she a potential lay? Maybe she is. If she gets any shorter, it's very early to go in, isn't it?
It is. It's very early. Not on the clock for me. Her times on the clock definitely give her an outstanding chance. She's only just turned 2. You know, it's very hard to be harsh on young dogs, and you do have to give them a chance and let them grow up and mature. On the draw, I think the bottom on Betfair is 7 to 1 miles away. He probably won't be miles away because 5's not got much early. I know it's off handicaps, but does run on and does stay on every line of form I could find. But Garclos Rhythm in 4 for me. Experienced dog. He won 9 of 29 in Ireland.
Yeah, good stats, and as you said, 1 from 1 at Shorefield as well. But the punters have got firmly stuck in to track. Well, they do like a red jacket at Shore. The times I've been there, the short price runner in the red, they want to get involved. And Greenwell Fear is going to go off 5-4 favourite. Now, no commentator at Shorefield, so Richard, you're going to kick-start the action.
I am indeed, yes. We're going to kick the night off. The 7:16 at Shorefield. A1 grade, top grade action. Short price favourite in 1. Here comes the hare, and away we go. It's a good start by 6 on the outside. 4 showing good pace as well. Garclos Rhythm's gone round with 6. 1 showing really good pace after a moderate start, Greenwell Fear, but it's 4 just from 1 and 6. 2, 5 and 3 further back. It concerns the front 3, I think. As we come to the second last bend, 4, a couple of lengths clear from 1 and 6. Garclos Rhythm in 4. Here comes Greenwell Theory in 1, coming with a challenge. 6 miles away, can't do any more. 5 staying on a bit, but it's about Greenwell Theory getting up the inside of Garclos Rhythm, and does. 1 beats 4 and 6. That's a good run.
Yeah, it looks very much like Greenwell Thea has finally opened her account. It took 12 races, but she's done it, and she did it when the money was on as well. She's come out okay and sort of edged off slightly and been forced back in by 2. Didn't really lose that much momentum, but she just got a nice break here, didn't she, when they all went round the corner. She held that firm. Yeah,
she showed the benefit of being on the inside and muscled her way past 2 and into a really good pitch. A little bit surprised that she's managed to pick 4 up. As I said, 4... You know, for me, the best run in Ireland that he did was over 600 yards, which is, 546 metres. So, you know, it's strong enough dog, certainly over this 480, but I think that's why I think it's a phenomenal run from Greenwell Thea, and now she's opened her account. I think she can go on and on. 4's run a bit wide off the last bend. That's probably a bit of lack of knowledge of the track, but, you know, I think now she's won. I think she'll win again.
Yep. Well, punters off to a flying start at Shorefield as Greenwell Thea. The favourite does the job, well supported as well. Plenty more action from us, of course, and more from our guys up at Shorefield. But for now, it's time for a quick break.
I'm very pleased to say I'm here with Ian Sutherland, now with Angela Harrison, but a man who knows a thing or two about winning a Scottish Derby.
Yeah, as I say, we won quite a few when there was with Charlie, and as I say, hopefully we can add another one tonight.
Which one? No, that's the question. But you've got a few runners tonight, so we'll go through those if we may. Kicking off with the sprinter, Agile Dorotas, super speedy, dropped to a sprint last time out.
Yeah, as I say, she's quite a speedy little bitch. As I say, she was into a D1 at Newcastle last time. She missed her break 2 or 3 lengths, and she absolutely rocketed to the bend, and you know, she just destroyed them for pace. So hopefully tonight, you know, if she traps out, you know, a big long run to the bend, I think it'll suit her, and I think she should go really well.
Thanks for that. Moving on to the Stayers Trophy, Pepe Bananas, first competitive race in this country, ex-Pat Buckley. I saw around about even money. Is that value?
Well, I'd say on his form, he probably should be winning a race of this nature, you know what I mean? But as I say, it's the first race for us. But his trials at Newcastle have been, you know, he's been going well at Newcastle, so, you know, we're expecting a big run up him tonight.
And you've got a couple in the Rpgtv 500 trophy. First of all, Droopy's Live, very, very classy, Great North Run last year, of course.
Yeah, you know, she's been a great old bitch for the kennel. You know, Jimmy and Andrew have done a great job there, you know what I mean? And, you know, she's you know, without a chance tonight, because I think there's a lot of early pace. It could be a bit of bunching, and you know, she could maybe pick him up coming home.
Well, some of that early pace might come from your Velvet Juliet, debuted last week, did all but win, and with no pace in 2, so that could suit her.
Yeah, as I say, she looks a nice bitch. You know, she hadn't had been round last week, so you know that look round she should improve. And as I say, if she does trap, you know, she could get away and get on the skin tonight, and they might have to go and catch her, like, you know.
Now on to the big one, the RPGtv Scottish Derby, doubly represented. First of all, kick off Trap 6 Droopies and Nadal. Many saying the best drawn dog in the final.
Yeah, as I say, he looks really well drawn, and to be fair, you know, there's been 5 railers, and he's done nothing but improve, you know. And I think tonight, if there's any, you know, if there's a bit of trouble or that scrimmaging on the inside, I think he could take full advantage, and you know, he could maybe nip round to the outside.
Have you noticed a real change in him over the last few weeks and months, kind of growing up, as it were?
Yeah, as I say, when he come, he was daft. When he was walking, he would walk backwards. You know, he wouldn't do anything that you sort of wanted him to do. But he's, you know, this last couple of months and the last 2 or 3 weeks, you know, he's just improved. And as I say, he doesn't need to improve much tonight to win. So, you know, he's got a good chance.
And now on to the super classy superstar himself, Droopies Verve in 5. With your kennel, we always seem to be talking about draws, but he's done it from 5 in the past.
Yeah, as I say, you know, it's probably no ideal for him tonight, but as you say, you've got to take what you get. You've got to trot 5, so he's got to deal with it. But, you know, everybody knows he's a class dog, and, you know, fingers crossed he gets the breaks. You know what I mean? The main thing is he gets a clear run. That's the main thing. That's what we're hoping. Hope he gets a good start and gets a clear run round the first couple of bends. And if he's anywhere near them, you know, everybody knows how classy he is. You know, he'd be hard to hold, I would think. But as they say, as long as Wyden win tonight, that's the main thing.
Ian, you're a superstar. I can't pay you, I'm afraid, as ever. Will you accept a letter of promise for next time?
Well, you keep promising, Jason, so, you know, I don't know. I might let you off this time, but next time I want the money.
Brilliant, Ian. Cheers. Cheers, Ian. Fantastic, mate. Thank you very much.
Well, he'll have a long wait, won't he, till he gets any money out of Barrowford's. But I don't think he carries anyone. He's like the Queen. He's cashless, is our Jason. But good to hear from Ian. Always talks a lot of sense, and over the years been involved with some incredible greyhounds. There's the scenes at Crayford. It's going to be hard to get through any emails and tweets tonight, so... Have you got a quick one you want to...
I have, and it's a small apology to Colin. Your email dropped while the race was on, unfortunately, and it's for Greenwell Thea. If he thought she could do a 29.60 and producing this once more, it should be hard to beat. Thinks flat racing's better than handicap for her because of her early pace. You were spot on. Spot on.
And I like this tweet that's coming from Alex Johnson, who says, I hope to see the 3rd Scottish winner of the RPGtv Scottish Derby with Graham Rankin's Jaguar Jack, and he says, and I hope I do this justice, he says, and then Jason and Tony will see a brawl-bricked moonlight nicked the neat as they hit Glasgow for a good old Kaylee and a few drams, courtesy of Big Billy. Haste you back next year. Apologies, there was no Scottish accent there at all. That was awful. But a local winner would always see them raise the roof. That's for sure. Be very well supported indeed. Now, there's the runners at Crayford betting on your screens. Trap 3, Seriously Siren heads the market just ahead of 6 Son of a Gun. Richard, what do you make of this one?
Yeah, I thought it was a tricky enough opener for the A7s, but I've ended up with Trap 5 here. Cruden Bay made all the running to win last time in A8. Had previously just nearly made to the bend and got quite badly crowded. And finished 3rd, only beaten a length and 3/4 in A7, same as this. If you go back to December, actually won an A6 by a long 8.5 lengths in a very fast time. Certainly capable, a little bit overpriced for me. Possible leader, could be the value.
Okay, thank you for that. One that's heading to Traps. Looks like there's been a bit of rain about at Crayford as well. The hoods are up as well. 6 for me, Son of a Gun on the outside for KTO Flaherty, who's another greyhound who, not the most reliable of trappers, can break, but also does some decent work in the latter stages. So I'll play the Stripes.
He's only young as well, Phil, isn't he?
Yeah, oh absolutely, September 17. And nice make-up on the outside potentially. 5-2, 4.1 on Betfair. Runners line up. Can't make the mind up about the two. Mine's a pink gin. 7, 8, 10, 8, and then 10 again.
Yeah, the Dundalk form caught my eye, so I looked a bit further into Mine's a Pink Gin, but only 1 from 10 in Ireland. That was an A6 at Dundalk, so
Not
winning at Dundalk, it suggests you're probably going to need 540 at Crayford to me.
Could well be. She marched 17, so she's just 2 and a bit now. Mine's a pink gin. Haven't got you down as a pink gin man, to be honest, Richard.
No, I like a normal gin, but not a pink one.
They're very fashionable now, these flavoured gins.
They are.
Mine's a pink gin is the outsider of the party here. 3 still heading the betting, seriously, Siren. 3 bar, 5 to Uncruden Bay. 7 to the top, Turbine Tallow as well. Looks like the runners are all in the traps. So chance for us to go across to the track for race number 1.
Closing traps for race 1. Get ready to treat your selections. Here are the traps. And away we go. 1 broke well from 4, 5, 2, 3 and 6 on the run to the first bend. It's for the lead to the moment, though, with 6 coming wide. Though a bit of scrimmaging towards the back of the field. 1's making progress towards the inside. They clear 2 and 5 down towards the penultimate turn. So it's for the lead. Droopy Smart, but sets the pace and still out in front with 6 trying to close. 1's towards the inside. They're off the final bend. 4 still leads from 6, though. It's 4 that wins the opener. 6 second and 1 third.
Okay, well, messy first bend there. Hopefully the greyhounds are all okay. Trap 3 is the one we're looking for, seriously, Siren. And there she is. Glad to see her come through to the pickup there. So the win for Trap 4, Droopy's Smart. Your selection, 5, Cruden Bay, got away quite well, Richard, but couldn't get around the bend unscathed.
No, couldn't get past Droopy Smart. That was the broke probably just better. Better early as well, to be fair. And she couldn't go round, so that was the chance you take at 5 or 6 to 1. I don't mind taking those sort of chances, which when they're short and they've got to do something similar, I'm always a bit unsure as to whether to put the money down or not. Droopy Smart though, fantastic performance, ends a losing sequence. That's 13 without a win. Put that straight tonight, and A7 was a very good win. Another one that nearly made the bend last time out, found a bit of trouble, did make it tonight.
Made it tonight. She's run over 540 as well, so once she hit the front over the 380, it's always going to be hard to hold, and that proved to be the case. Trap 4, you winner there. Now, we are going to hot-foot it back across to Shawfield, where Tony Bullen has found a veteran of the track.
The locals are doubly represented in this year's Scottish Derby final, and I'm delighted to be joined by Pat Flaherty. Greenwell Jean, what an achievement from this bitch, Pat.
Oh, it's great. It's the best bitch I've ever had. In fact, she's something different. I told the Sunday postman, a racing postman there, Thursday or Friday, she's 2 breaks in her hop. Well, 2 slab fractures to be exact. And that's 9 months she's been off. She's only had 12 races, and most of them was trials this time. She had only 4 races in her life when she went to the English Derby, and she's second in the first round. It was just too much for her.
I remember seeing her win at Newcastle in 2017, and I thought this bitch could be anything. And then she ran Whoops Jack. What she done to Whoops Jack at Toaster?
Aye, that's right. That's right. She was marvellous. But the journey was too much. She's not a great traveller, but she's far here.
And how would you like to see the race go, Pat? Obviously, you're going to have to probably do things the hard way.
Very well. See, to be honest, the shouldn't have been in Barber. It's different class, in my opinion, But I'd be feared of Jimmy Phoenix, big dog. He's an 80-odd punter, so if he wants middle, so if he hits us 60 pun bits, you're in trouble.
Well, one thing, it's a brilliant achievement. I mean, you've nursed this bitch back. She's been very patient, and you've got to be in it to win it. Hot Pipe done it. The roof could be blown off if the locals do it again.
Well, it would be an incredible night if one of the locals could win it. Pat Flaherty there, who I spoke to in the week, and good man, Pat. He's been laid up for a while, as he said, and his son John has been working wonders with the dogs, and credit to them all that Greenwell Jean is in there tonight. And sure, there'll be nothing coming home stronger, Richard. It's just where she gets in the early stages.
Yeah, it's just how close you can lay to them. It's a big, as Tony said, it's a great achievement to get to the final.
Absolutely.
She has got a wall, a mountain to climb. To be fair, she's going to need a lot of things go right for her.
Yep, no pressure for them tonight, but they'll enjoy the evening, that's for sure. Now to the race in hand. This is the 7:34 Rpgtv, 7 nights a week on Sky 431 Sprint Trophy. My selection in one, currently Zero's being well backed, is the even money favourite now. But the greyhound we're going to give you a clue, show you in action, is Richard's MB, Agile de Rotas. And this was last time out, Richard, the 25th of April, winning at Newcastle.
Yeah, it was, as aforementioned by Ian Sutherland, that made a sprint debut in a D1 at Newcastle the other day from Trap 3. Not electric from the boxes, but electric from halfway up the run-up. From there on, she was just sensational. She's shown fantastic pace on a number of occasions. She's impressed me a few times, and I think sprinting actually could be the making of this bitch.
Well, she is now out to 3-1, Richard. We talked about it, we referenced it earlier, but it is so often the case when you get a big crowd at Shawfield on a night like this, and they do like a short price favourite on the inside, and they got stuck into the first winner, getting stuck into Chronology Zero, and obviously Stephen Atkinson's greyhound has got comparable form round at Newcastle, also winner recently in Open Company, 1677, slightly quicker than we just saw Agile de Rotas doing there. So for me, I thought the draw on the inside and the fact that two may move middle gave one a great pitch, but yeah, you see probably improvement still to come from her.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that break she got at Newcastle there, I could see her breaking a couple of lengths better than that. And if she does, then I think she'll be extremely hard to beat. I thought the draw favours the inside too massively. Gary Glass Rover never sprinted before, only in trials, never raced. Middle to wide comments throughout his card. Pinpoint Junior, similar, middle to wide. So I don't think there's any pressure on the inside duo, and it's just going to be all on the break between the two, Phil.
Okay, well, it's out to 6-4 again now, Chronology Zero. 6-4 and 5-2. That's how they bet the first two. Gary Glass Rover is being nibbled. The other Newcastle runner in 3. Well, 4 Newcastle runners here because Kelly McCarthy's Pinpoint Junior as well. But it looks like as they go to traps, one will go off favourite. Thanks to Tina, who's on board tonight for the Scottish Derby Greyhound final from Shawford, which is Top Man Phil and Posh JK giving it to us large. I assume she means you, does she?
That's me.
Posh JK, there's no such thing in the world, Tina. Let's clear that one up straight away. I hope you enjoy the show and everyone else watching at home. We've got some great racing in store this evening, and this, of course, over the two bends, 300 metres to be precise. Runners are now all in. Traps 1 and 2, the studio selections. Hare's on its way round. Here it comes. That's it, away we go. Well, 4's the first to show, Pinpoint Junior. 1 and 2 are right there on the inside as well. We get to the bend. Is 1 Chronology Zero, who ranges alongside the Black Jacket. Trouble for 4, and 1 now kicks on. 1 goes on by a couple, 2's on the inside. 6 are, I think 3 may have gone wrong there, unfortunately, but it's 1 who's going to lead home 6 and 2, close for places, but Trap 3 lame there. That's unfortunate to see, Gary Glass Rover, but no doubt about the winner. Chronology Zero, and just won the early battle. Could see the draw, Richard.
Yeah, it was. 4 absolutely smashed out Pinpoint Junior, but Chronology Zero, flew into the bend, squeezed out Agile de Rotas, and made the most of the draw, Phil.
Well, it's 2 races at Shawfield, 2 trap ones so far. Will we get another one? We'll find out soon enough. Join us after this break. Welcome back to Rpgtv. Let's just confirm the result of our second race at Shawfield. You can see trap 1 and 2, red and blue. That's how they finished, 1, 2 and 6. 6-4 favourite, the winner there, Chronology Zero, Newcastle first to home. Now, of course, the big race tonight, the Rpgtv Scottish Derby, is at 9:20. Let's continue our build-up to this classic, and there you can see the betting. We're going to have a look at how the semi-finals panned out. And first of these was a very good performance from Droopy's Nadal, who leads home Braveheart Bobby.
Yeah, 1 and 6, the two qualifiers from this heat, but as you can see at the start of the race, it didn't look like doing that at all. 1 and 5, Nadal's in 6 tonight. Boyle Sports Extra in 4 bolted out in front and looked to have the race in his keeping, really. But Braveheart Bobby, fantastic pace down the back straight, and just gets in the way, just gets tangled up a little bit with Boyle Sports Extra. And 5, Droopy's Nadal, makes the benefit of the draw around the outside. Braveheart Bobby rallies, swinging off to the middle a little bit, and I was interested to see the draw in 3 might suit him better.
OK, well, the Jacks were the two to watch here. Jaguar Jack winning from Trap 1, Cooning Jack, the other qualifier in Trap 2.
Yeah, well, I was on last week, tipped this up, and 8 to 1, Jaguar Jack, fantastic early, loves the inside. Cooning Jack has a tendency to move to the middle, and with his size, as we've said, he's a very big dog. He's high 38s, 39 kilos, but Jaguar Jack, too quick for him early. Set the race zone up. Both ran really well, though.
OK, and now, of course, the big gun, Droopy's Verve, can maintain his progress in the third semi-final. Leads home Greenwell Jean, Droopy's Verve winning from Trap 1 on this occasion, and Greenwell Jean in 4, the other qualifier.
Yeah, got very tight as they went to the corner, and King Turbo in 3 badly squeezed out, but Droopy's Verve showed his pace and class and his bravery to go round in front of 5, Bramble Reggie. And say late on, you'll see Greenwell Jean from 4 staying on to qualify, but it was all about Verve at this stage, and he was in splendid isolation.
Yeah, great performance from Droopy's Verve, which is what we come to expect from him really every time he goes to traps. He's got a tremendous will to win, 19 from 30, 9 seconds as well. At the moment, he's around the odds against, but could well be odds on the track. Looks the part.
He does indeed, yep.
OK, sectionals. Let's have a look and see how they bet for the quickest sectional of the finalists. Well, Cooning Jack's been supported on the inside, courtesy of that draw, I suppose, 5 to 2.
Yeah, as you said before, he's been in one before and broke well. I'm not convinced by Jaguar Jack's draw in 4 from a breaking perspective, and again trying to get across Braveheart Bobby. So I could understand why Verve maybe has been supported as well. Good record out of 5. OK, there's also sectional betting on the 500 final. And no surprise, you would say, really, to see Ballymartin Hero as favourite. Has shown good early pace, but Velvet Juliet also potentially another one to trap. Yeah, I wasn't sure that Velvet Juliet can get round Ballymartin Hero. He looked an obvious favourite. And I think 15 to 8 was pretty quickly snapped up, to be fair. Yeah. I thought Toolmaker Jet was the obvious danger on the inside. OK, thank you, Richard. We're going across now to Crayford for the second race of the evening there, and the open race action not just at Shorefield this evening, because Crayford have got their fair share too, and this one, the Ladbrokes Maybank Holiday Stayers Stakes over the 714 metres, and being supported on the inside is Arthur's Impact for Derek Knight. Greyhound, who's got some good form in the locker, of course, going back to earlier in the year, was here over the 714, but he's a good guy. Gary Glass Champ, 5 to 2 chances, and Gary Glass Champ being back, Richard, in opposition to the favourite. Yeah, in opposition to both 1 and 3, Gary Glass Champ attracting the support for Mark Wallace, who's also represented with 2, Killtree Mike, who's going to lead every yard of this and some more. It's a very interesting little race, this, actually, because Arthur's Impact won a heat of the Regency at Hove, qualified through to the final, finished 5th in the final. All his best form for me is at Hove. If you go back to his Crayford form, 714, and yes, I know he did one run back in April, I think of last year, Arthur's Impact, 45.73. But generally, for me, his Crayford form doesn't match up to his form at Hove. And so I wanted to be against. Yeah, he's not a layer. He can win. Yeah, and I was going to be with. He's a good guy who I think really does like this track. Crayford suits him better. He won well in his last visit, and I thought he had a chance to repeat that, but he's got to hold Gary Glass Champ early. OK, 3 for Richard. I am going to go with the Jolly Arthur's Impact, one of the several trap ones I fancied tonight, and the Red Jacket's going well so far. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. His Hove form would make him probably shorter than he is here. The price is holding up because of his Crayford form not being quite so good, but potentially a step down in class for him here tonight. And he gets my vote, but he is 7 to 4, very easy
in the betting ring at Crayford, as all the money comes for Gary Glass Champ, for the champion trainer Mark Wallace. Let's see how it pans out then. Let's go across and take the call.
So 4 metres, 2 complete circuits of the track. Get ready to see your selections here at the traps. Break away from the trap. 6 broke well and leads to the first bend from 4 in second to the inside. 1 3's the early back marker. Bit of bumping and barging towards the back, but it's 6 that leads. Glenbag Val sets the pace for Nick Carter, though with 4 in second is Gary Glass Champ from Mark Wallace. They're clear of 2. Country Michaels over Mark Wallace in behind that. They're clear 1 in behind that. Arthur's Impact for Derek Knight, and 3's the back marker. He's a good guy for Samantha West. They pass us with a lap to go. Onto the final lap. 6 leading from 4. Trying to close towards the inside is 2, trying to make progress. Coming from the back of the field are 1 and 3. They head down the back straight the final time and down towards the penultimate turn zone. Glenbag Val's been there most of the way and is still the clear leader. 4 and 2 are still battling to try and close, trying to make progress. 1 looks for a run up the outside. 3 in behind that, but 6 is holding them all off, and Nick Carter has the winner. Glenbag Val wins, close for places.
Well, it's another shock maybe at Crayford. Glenbag Val, a big price, and has turned the market on its head here with a great performance. Led from boxes, and vacant trap on in 5 certainly didn't hurt the cause of the leader, and she's made the best of her way home, Richard. And it was a case of the others maybe just not getting the runs or just disappointing.
Yeah, I think when you go back and look at the race again, you'll think your very basic comments are 1 early pace needs to lead, 3 early pace needs to lead, 4 early pace needs to lead, 6 early pace needs to lead. So whichever one of those didn't lead, or whichever one did lead, the others were all really up against it. Gary Glass Champ tried really hard to catch Glenbeg Val in the first circuit in a bit without being able to do so. And then you're looking at the staying on Killtree Mike, and it's kennelmate Gary Glass Champ that gets in his way.
Yeah.
And yeah, the best place to be in a lot of races over any distance at Crayford is in front. And we've seen that highlighted to perfection here. Local knowledge, a little bit of an interest in the market as well. 6 into 5 at one point. I did see it drifted from 6 out to 8 today.
Yes. Well, and Glenbag Val, to her credit, I mean, she's run a cracking race. Yeah. She's not that often allowed to dictate, is she?
No.
She doesn't very often get to the front and enjoy an uncontested lead.
Not in open class, no. She does graded, and then she wins plenty of those. And yeah, that was a fantastic performance, and they'll be delighted, I'm sure.
OK, Glenbag Val then takes race 2 at Crayford. Talking of 2, let's see how the other 2 are getting on. Let's go back to Shawfield and find Jason.
I'm very pleased to say I'm joined by Jack Buckley, and also here is Tommy Clifford as well, who is...
Oh, Tommy's my travelling head man.
He's the main man.
Oh, yeah. Look at it. The show wouldn't run without Tommy. He came for the trial and he came for the rounds, and he's done all the hard work.
Well, it's not unfamiliar for your father, or indeed you, to have finalists in the Scottish Derby, of course. You've won it before, Capricorn 2009. Braveheart Bobby, there's improvement there, isn't there? I can tell by your smile.
Oh, yeah. He hasn't trapped in the competition yet, but it's no secret that he's a very good dog. He's already won a Kingdom Derby and, runs at the highest level around Shelburne, and he's a good dog, but just needs to get his trapping boots on.
Placed in the Easter Cup as well, but you say he had his problems. Was it his tonsils out?
Yeah, we probably only have him about 6 weeks, and when he came in, the tonsils flared up, so we said it's just best off get them out. So he's probably a little undercooked going into the competition, but you'd imagine he'd be where he needs to be tonight.
Tommy, you've got to try and look interested now, but I've worked out how he wins it. I'm going to be honest, I have backed him. I've backed him. Caneen Jack goes off. You out, obviously, trap 2, and Greenwell Jean, and you go on from there and kick on.
Hopefully he'll win.
But it was interesting, because you did tell us, Jackie, didn't you, in the first round when you and Davey unfortunately went out in the semis. Davey was the one for that night, but I kind of gleaned from your interview that you thought there'd obviously be more to come from Braveheart.
Yeah, well, you'd have to imagine that he was going to improve. He didn't have the work going into it, and look, he's really where he needs to be tonight, fitness-wise, and the short hair and that, it takes a bit of getting used to over here. So, look, the dream for us is if he gets out and he leads. He'd be awful hard to stop then because he's so strong, but it's kind of one of those races where you've got such a good dog in Droopy's Verve. You're really, it depends on what he's going to do at trap rise as to how the race is going to pan out. So, look, it's like anything. You just wish for a bit of luck, and hopefully he'll ping out for us.
And also in both rounds up until now, it's been really at the third bend, hasn't it? Just something's gone slightly awry and not gone round.
Yeah, look, he just got caught both nights on the rail, you know. And if he was out wide swinging it, he'd probably have both rounds won, you know. But look at I think the owner was saying that his last 7 runs he's been second 6 times, so he's due a win, isn't he?
He certainly. Now, Tommy, I'm going to ask you this tonight. Obviously, best of luck. But for Nottingham, who is the kennel's dog for Nottingham?
Troopies Davy.
I knew I'd get an honest reply from Tommy. Do you agree?
Oh, no. Any of the 5. Cards close to my chest.
Davy. Best of luck tonight, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Cheers.
Great stuff there. Good to hear from the Buckley connections, and always welcome Pat and the team, Jack as well, for come Derby time. We're looking forward to seeing them at Nottingham, that's for sure. Now the 7:53 at Shorefield, yet another open and another short price trap 1 here in Pepe Bananas. This race, of course, over the 670. Even money favourite to Angela Harrison's greyhound. Well, before we talk about the favourite, let's have a look at a bit of footage from last time out, 27th of April, an S1, which featured a few of these, Richard. The race won by a Rancher's Faith.
It was, yeah, Rancher's Faith ran from trap 4. Baldini Zero was in 3 and Spirit Partner was in 6. So Spirit Partner, as you can see, very slowly away out the back. But it was the early pace of Baldini Zorro, took them along, just drifted off a little bit and let Rancher's Faith nip up the inside. And that really was a crucial part of the race, because from here, Rancher's Faith kicks on, goes on. Gartcloss Hunter in 2 chases on. Say 6 has made some progress to dispute 3rd at the moment, and Baldini Zorro has just dropped out the picture, but it wasn't the clearest of runs for him. Having been headed, all of a sudden he's back involved again. If he could hold his pitch in front, he'd have been a really interesting runner here. It's a really interesting reversal and renewal against these. There's only a length and a bit between them there. Baldini Zorro might be able to turn the tables with Rancher's Faith.
Yeah, it could be a bit of value amongst the locals, but what about this trap 1 here, Pepe Bananas? Even money for Angela Harrison on debut for the kennel this evening. Got some form in Ireland?
Has, yeah, and got a fantastic draw here, because Baldini Zorro, as we just saw there, drifted off the second bend, ran a true middle line. And Pepe's Bananas, and the race I watched at Shelbourne Park over 750 yards, finished 3rd, suffered early crowding round both the first and second bends and really got shuffled back, then stayed on very well, closed well, all on the inside fence, stayed close to the inside. So trap 1's going to be the right draw for Pepe Bananas. It's just a lack of course knowledge, and how long have they had him in the kennels, and there's a few little questions to answer, but he's got an outstanding chance for me.
So for you, trap 1 selection?
Yeah, 1 selection. I think it's very hard to oppose him, on the draw and his form, and also representing one of the top kennels against some locals.
And I know it's very hard. We don't see that much racing from Shorefield, but obviously the greyhound hasn't been round. He's coming up, as you mentioned, against local runners who, class-wise, he may well be better than. But will the lack of a look be a negative?
I think he'll overcome it on the fact that he's going to potentially have half of Glasgow to get past the front runners.
Yeah.
As we've seen, Baldini Zorro runs middle. Rancher's Faith we saw runs middle. Then we've got in 3 Eloise, who's never been over 6 bends, and she's another one that she's got middle comments throughout her lines of form. And then you've got 4's a middle seed anyway. And again, there's none from 6 every time that Look My Way's raced over further than 480 metres. So not inspiring me with any confidence there. And Spirit Partner, we watched in that VT, very slowly away. And then you look at the handicap form and it says lacked early pace. So.
Yeah, well, it's out even money again, the favourite. Little bit of a nibble for a couple of the local. Rancher's Faith 4 into 3. Baldini Zorro, who I'm going to side with on what we just saw. 7s into 6s. Thanks to Tina, who says, nice ties, boy. It's looking very smart. Did Richard get his in Blackpool? Must be alluding to the old sticker rock. And Jake says, well, that was the last race. Hope you're right, Phil. He was on 1 and 2 forecast. and it looks like it may well have obliged. So good luck. Okay.
Yeah, just to go going in, I've got a very nice email from Kevin Parisi. Hi, Kevin. Says, good evening. I would like to start with wishing all the runners in the Derby, Scottish Derby, the very best of luck tonight. And a big shout out to Michael Sillers, Cruise Control, who ran last night his 147th race at Shorefield. 3 more races, and then Rocky, as he's known, will be getting his forever home. A fantastic credit to Michael. He's a July 14 Taylor Sky Milky's Legacy wet.
Brilliant. Good to hear it. Thank you for that. Always nice to hear a story like that retirement looming for him, but not for you, Richard, in terms of commentaries, because we're back to you then for race number 3, and somehow by hook or by crook you've landed up with 6 bends.
There's another one on the card later, Phil. It's all right. Yes, plenty of early pace from the locals, and in an unknown quantity really in trap 1, the favourite Pepe Bananas. So here goes the hare for the 670. As you can see, a reasonably short run to that first corner, so trapping's going to be essential. And 2 just broke in front, but 1 was very quickly on the premises behind, and it's 2 and 5 that have gone on with 4, 1 dropping back after squeezing out of the bend. And 2 moving off, as we can see there. That's Baldini Zorro disputing with Rancher's Faith. So the form from last week. Oh, 4's got involved. Look my way, and edge 2 completely out of the way. That's left 5. Rancher's Faith go 4 lengths clear. 1 Pepe Bananas, who's making progress, is stalking into second. Got about 4 lengths to find with 2 bends to run. Looks a big task to me. 3 coming out of nowhere, Eloise, to challenge for second. But the winner looks to be home and hosed in front for me. Rancher's Faith. 1 last week on the show. It's going to do it again, make the double. Rancher's Faith from trap 5. 5 beats 3, and 4's third.
Yep, 5 your winner. Rancher's Faith. 1 for the locals, and good cheer as well you could hear on course. Was nibbled at. They've had a bit of 4-1 for their money, but was backed. Now, watching the replay, as Richard called it, it was a bit tight on the inside. It looked like 1 was going to pitch Pepe Bananas, but didn't. The 2 Baldini Zorro has shown that early pace again that we saw last week. The winner's right up there as well, but swings wide. At this point, I thought 2 was going to straighten up and lead them across the sectional, but unable to do so. 5's right there. Then 4 comes up the inside, gives 2 a nudge, and suddenly door was open for the favourite, if good enough, but didn't quite go that way.
No, I think that first bend and having nowhere to go and having to check the stride for a few lost vital lengths and momentum. But we saw Rancher's Faith on the VT beat Baldini Zorro by nipping up the inside at the 3rd corner. Went round the outside today, but it was thanks to Look My Way. They'll have to say thank you to that rival for taking 2 out of the equation at that point. And took full advantage, kicked on, kicked clear, and basically had the race won at that stage. I think Eyecatcher was 3. Eloise on 6 bend debut.
Yeah, good strong runner-up effort in second, but the winner has won well at 3-1 there. Rancher's Faith, 5 beating 3 and 4. That was that 3rd race at Shorefield. Now, Crayford will be our next port of call. An open race. Now, only 4 runners here. The Ladbrokes Maybank Holiday Sprint, traps 2 and 6 vacant, and Short Price Jolly in Droopy's Pen. Got an email, Richard, for us.
Yeah, I have. I've got a really good email coming in from Mark Jones, and he says, sorry I couldn't defend my title, but good luck to all the finalists and all come home safe. I will be watching with my mum and dad on the couch. This is The Other Edge.
Well, look at that. That looks rather comfy. Is there 1 dog or 2 there? I think it's 2, isn't there, in that picture? But yeah, he's. I remember the pictures came through after he retired. He's living in a pub now, isn't he? The Other Edge. Oh, what a great life! You know, racing with the best, beating the best, and then residing in a public house.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I can tick one of those boxes, but not the other 2. Now let's turn our attention back. Thanks for that, by the way. That's great to see things like that. Now Crayford, the 8 o'clock race 3. This is 380 metres. Dean Childs, a bitch on the inside, Droopy's Pen. I noticed she was being nibbled during the course of the day, and the money has come for her again. On course, she is odds on. It's short enough, but I can see why they're backing her. She only had 5 races. She's got 3 wins. Probably unusually for a Droopy's loner bitch. She hasn't got scintillating early, has she? But she's got a tremendous will to win.
Yeah, she has, and as you said, 5 races, 3 wins. 7-4 didn't last long this morning, into 6-5, and as you can see, it's just around even money on Betfair Exchange at the moment, and even's taken on course into 4-5. Yeah, there's a lot going for her, isn't there? She's rising through the grade. She's got a bit of experience of the track now, 5 races here, and that could be the key here because Buddy Ab in 3 has only had 2 races at Crayford. Baytown Ag makes Crayford debut. Did win 6 races at Shelbourne Park though.
I saw the Shelbourne form, and it's not, to come into a race like this, it could be anything really. Baytown Ag.
Yeah, 28.49, very good run indeed. But that was from trap 2, and maybe the middle seed means that Crayford not really handling the bends just yet. We'll learn, I'm sure. And then toughest test on the outside from Jimmy Reynolds. It's been on and off the card, been to Henlow for a couple of trials. Just might have a little bit to find. So the vacant trap in 2 definitely helps. And I think there's a lot of potential involved here in Droopy's Pen.
Yeah, Droopy's Pen is going to get the vote of us both in the studio here. You won't get Rich back in Droopy's Pen, but she looks the one to beat, that's for sure. Just a shade of odds on at the moment. Thanks to Matt who tweeted in. He said, banging performance from Glenbeg Vow in the 7:14 at Crayford. Despite a DK dog in the race, Derek Knight dog, we screamed at the TV screen at RP Greyhounds, and Mairead's Ivy fell off the sofa. Must be at home now with him. Says Glenbeg Vow, you have a big canine fan. So thanks for that, Matt. Great to hear you're enjoying the action. You enjoyed that one as well, by the sound of things.
I had an email from Gary. He says, the great Garrido here. He fancied a couple of the Gary Glass dogs earlier on. But can you say hi to my legendary cousin, Harry Findlay, please?
Absolutely, yeah.
Of course we will. Hi, Harry. Hope you're well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope you are, Harry. Hope you're backing winners still. Now, runners going in. Only 4 of them, so it won't take long. Favourite firm on the inside is Droopy's Pen. Nothing being backed in opposition. So that's it. The flag has been waved. Let's go to Crayford and join a rocking Robin.
Approach your traps to race 3. Get ready to your selections. Here are the traps. And off we go. 4 first away from 1, 5 and 3. On the charge of the first bend, it's 4 that leads. Base Energy that's out in front at the moment. They were Droopy's Pen in chase in second. 3 to behind his Buddy Abdeclear. 5 making progress. Toughest test, but 4 the one to catch at the moment though. 5 moving into second with 1 towards the outside and 3. But the leader at the moment is still 4 and heads around the final bend in front with 5 trying to close 3. 1 going wide, but doing enough in front. 4 wins. 5 may have just grabbed second and 1 third.
Well, Dave Lee's bitch, Baytown Ag, with a good Shelbourne form, has won on debut for the kennel here. She came into the race trial back after injury, but she looked fresh as a daisy there. She came out running tonight, Rich.
Yeah, it was taken to Monmore for first trials in this country, and as you said, faded in one of those. The comments have faded and beaten a distance. So yeah, obviously had a problem. Has retrialled back in. Decent trial, 23.61, but that was a fantastic break tonight. Really good performance. This is the first win for Baytown Ag at Crayford in this country, and I'm sure it won't be the last of either wins at Crayford or anywhere in this country.
Definitely not. Yeah, we were hoping maybe some clues in the betting market, but not majorly supported tonight, Baytown Ag, but she delivers in good style. That's race 3 at Crayford done. Now we're off for another break. When we come back, more from our team up at Shawfield.
The Rpgtv 500 final runs alongside the Scottish Derby final, and it's a competitive event as ever this year. Well, I'm delighted to be joined by Gary Carmichael Camp, John McCallum. In front of us here, we've got Ballymartin Hero, John, who ran a blinder last week.
Yeah, he did run a blinder. First time over the 500 here. He ran the 480s in the Droopy's Nugget Stakes, and he got beaten in the final, but he stayed on well last week. I thought the 500 would suit him with a long run to the corner. And he got away, got loose, and he won 2.5 lengths.
Well, I know there was a few thinking that you was crazy putting him over a stiff 500 metres, but he really did see it out well.
Yeah, I think the long run to the bend's the difference. If he can get to show his early pace, he can steal lengths doing that, and that helps him get home, you know. And going down the back straight, I was looking to see where Droopy's Live was, but that was 6 behind him. I thought, it's not going to beat him, like.
And also in track 6, we've got Gazilli Shea, runner-up last year. He's been a grand servant to the kennel.
Yeah, he's been a great wee dog. We had a few quid on him last week and he totally missed the box. He's got the stripes tonight, which will help. We've took a wee bit weight off him again. We had him quite light for this. He won a dual distance competition at Newcastle, so we had him quite light for that. So we put weight back on him, but he didn't quite get home last week, which isn't like him. I know the dog that beat him's a strong steer, but I think you'll see a good dog tonight. I think you'll see a different Gazelle shade tonight. I do.
Well, thanks for talking to us, John. The Carmichael Kennel, I've got 2 bites of the cherry. They've got an early pace type in Ballymartin Hero, a strong running all-rounder in Gazelle Shea. It's going to be an interesting race, that's for sure.
Well, it certainly is. We always get some interesting racing at Shorefield, and we always enjoy our big race finals. And somebody's emailed in about one.
Yeah,
Richard.
Paul Garrett. Hi, Paul. He said, any chance of replaying the 2015 final? What a crowd and atmosphere. Well, actually, Paul, we're not going to play the 2015 final for you. I hope you're going to enjoy this. It's the 2014 final. I think it's the race you meant.
And here comes the hare for the Ladbroke Scottish Derby 2014, and they're away and initially breaking well. There we've got Mind the Net on the outside. There comes all this trouble in behind there. Poor old JT Lightning and Metro Jack have gone down and taken it up front. It's Mind the Net, but look at Holden Spy poised in second place. Couple of lengths back then to Too Late to Sell and Kawasaki Jack. It's a duel up front between Holden Spy and Mind the Net, and Holden Spy has gone on. It's Holden Spy. Mind the Net is coming back for more. It's going to be a thriller. It's going to be close. Holden Spy just holds off the attentions there of Mind the Net, and Holden Spy wins the Scottish Derby.
Well, yeah, what an absolute stunning performance, Holden Spy. I think, as our emailer may well have mentioned, one of, if not my favourite dogs, certainly in recent years. And although that night brings back some mixed feelings, because I backed him anti-post, only about 7-1, so it was bet landed. But I was working in the studio with Jason that night, and it was a night we lost all the feed for all the pictures. We didn't actually get to see it, but we did hear he'd won. And for Carol Wetherall and Darren Holmes and all the team, what a night that was. I'm sure that'll live long in their memory, that's for sure. Now, 8:10 at Shorefield is next, and features, an odds-on favourite here, Nadura Dutch. Greyhound was expected, or many thought would go well in the Scottish Derby this year. Wasn't to be, but we can show you him in action, John McLaughlin's dog. If we turn the clock back to Sheffield in March, this was when he was in winning form from Trap 1.
Yeah, from Trap 1, and this is a really hot race because 4 is Jaguar Jack and 5 is Droopy's Expert. Obviously, Droopy's Expert missed the break there, got tangled up. But Nadura Dutch shows here what he's capable of doing, and fantastic run. He will move off from Trap 1 towards the middle. Comments actually were middle, quick away, always led. So Trap 4 may not be the hazard that it might look on at first glance. Very, very, very much a classy dog, and as you said, Phil, expected to go well in this year's Scottish Derby. Only 2-1 in his heat against Rupert's Verve.
Yeah, well, that does speak volumes, doesn't it, in terms of the regard he's held in. I did. I have backed him. I backed him anti-post for Sheffield. He was, for the Steel City. He didn't go his way there, but he's clearly got class. I'm not convinced about this draw. I know he sort of moved off from one there and then got pushed back in. But, there's pace all around him. And for me, as much as I like the dog, I thought there might be value in opposition in the case of Trap 2 here, Droopy's Shark. We watched earlier on when we showed a VT of him winning last week in A1. I know it was only A1, but he was only beaten ahead by Jaguar Jet previous. And he's got some nice form. He's got some early pace, so I'm going to go with 2. By the way, we've had people obviously inquiring about Gary Glass Rover, who went over in that previous race. We do understand. We didn't go over. He pulled up lame. We do understand that he's got a suspected broken hock, but he has been strapped up, made comfortable, and of course he will go and get treatment. I'm sure as soon as they possibly can. So hopefully Gary Glass Rover is in the best condition he could be, given the circumstances.
Absolutely, yes, he'll get the best of care, that's for sure.
Selection-wise for you, Richard, you can't oppose him?
I am. Well, I was a little bit torn with this. Droopy's Shark was my notebook dog in the paper on Tuesday from Shorefield last week.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic performance, wasn't it? And I didn't anticipate him necessarily being up against Nadura Dutch and dogs of that stature here. But money for him, 5-4 now, 7-2. So I'm loath to oppose Droopy Shark, and if he does what he did there and actually improves on that, then he's a massive runner. And I do respect him, but I did think Nadura Dutch had a touch too much class. He's lightly raced. He's got a fantastic strike rate. He's won 4 from 8. And this, to me, just represents a drop in class for him. So I thought it was really hard to oppose. but I hope Droopy Shark runs well and it may even win.
Yeah, well, two for me. I'll go with him because then you're covered. Then at least I've heeded your notebook claims. Droopy Shark and Nadura Dutch is the odds-on favourite. I'm looking at him. Is he a lay? I mean, his class. If he gets loose, he's 40 spots, 50 spots quicker than these. So probably I'll defer that. But there's betting from Craig from the bottom of the screens. Signal is given. So here we go for this 8:10 at Shorefield. It's on its way round to the traps. There you go. You can see it in the background. And that's it, away we charge. Well, Nadura Dutch breaks okay in 4. 1 is quickest up though with 5 and 2 also showing pace to the corner. The Jolly has got no sort of run at all. It's Gark Gloss Noah. Trap 1 who leads down the far side from 5 Pinpoint Rocco in second. A gap back to the chasing pack. 5 trying to get up the inside of 1 but nowhere to go as 1 holds those rails. Gark Gloss Noah. And as they come to the final turn, 1 being pressed again by 5-3. Greenwell Jet is pulling it down late and fast. 1's all out but we'll hold them all. 1 beats 3, 5 in third. It's Gark Gloss Noah who delivers in race 4. Well, there we go. Well, yeah, I was foolish there. As much as I like Nadura Dutch, it was an awkward draw, and he didn't have the early speed to clear it.
No, he didn't. Good break from 1 on the inside, Gark Gloss Noah. Only the 5 races so far, and made the best of his way home and. Challenged hard by Pinpoint Rocco down the back straight. The two fancied dogs, the dogs for money, Droopy Shark and Nadura Dutch, both got a bit of crowding squeezed out at the bends. But it's a strong running Greenwell Jet from Pat Flaherty's kennel that comes flying through to end up finishing second. But Gark Gloss Noah in trap 1 had escaped by that point, but it was very much an eye-catching run from Greenwell Jet in second.
Yeah, it certainly was, that's for sure. But you get paid over the 1 here. Gark Gloss and Noah doing the business for the Kennedy team. Okay, the next race at Shorefield, of course, will be the 500 final. So let's remind you how the heats played out last week. We're going to show you all 3 now. First of these was won by Millhouse Tommy. Wins beating Gazelle Shea. Let's show you this now. Traps 4 and 5 here, Richard.
Yeah, Gazelle Shea was very well supported last week into even money and... from trap 5 could never get his best break, and he looked in a reasonable pitch here and made a move down the back straight. Came with a threatening run to challenge the leaders at this point, but it turns out to be trap 4, the very strong running Millhouse Tommy that comes swooping around the outside. I thought going around the outside of Gazelle Shea he might have blown his chance, but not to be. He proved too strong, and the pair of them qualified for the final.
Yeah, powers away. Good run that. Now Toolmaker Jet for Willie Hislop was a winner of the second heat from trap 2. Beats Velvet Julie only just so, who ran a big race from trap 3.
Yeah, these two dominated the race from start to finish, and as you can see, they duelled into the first bend. It's Velvet Juliet on debut that went on, but Toolmaker Jet in 2 sticks to guns, sticks to the inside, and as they turn for home, you can see that Velvet Juliet just needed the sharpener, needed this to sharpen her up a little bit, needed a bit of experience. And Toolmaker Jet proves the stronger just on the line.
Well, favourite to win the sectional race tonight is Ballymartin Hero, and was in winning form in the third heat from trap 2. Leads home here, Droopy's Live, who qualifies trap 3 in second.
Yeah, Ballymartin Hero, as we can see from the still on screen, had made a good break and absolutely flew into the corner. Killiford Banjo was in trap 1 here, last year's victor, was trying to retain the crown, and again runs on the card tonight as well, but no, escaped here. Ballymartin Hero absolutely flew. Droopy's Live, well, we know she's strong. She's a classy 6-bend bitch, and this trip, a little bit on the short side for her, but she's good enough over 4 bends when she gets it all right, but couldn't catch Ballymartin Hero.
Yep, those the heats then of the Rpgtv 500 trophy fund. That'll be the next live race at Shorefield, but for now, we've got the 8:17 at Crayford coming your way. You can see the betting on your screens, and there's been plenty of activity in the ring. The one who hasn't moved is the favourite in 6, You Never Learn. Jim Reynolds Greyhound is firm at 2-1, but supported in 2 is JJ Max's on debut for Belinda Green. Either of those catch your eyes, Richard?
Yeah, it was the favourite You Never Learn for me in 6. August 17 puppy, owned by Paul Cobb. I think he's got, he's been going through the grades. He won an A9, he won an A7, he's won an A6, he's 3 from 7 in all those races as well, and all those lower grades. He's very, very well fancied. Thrown into an open race last time. This much more to his liking back in graded company. I think A5, I think he's capable of that. The key factor of this race, though, could be 5, Fiora Shannon. 28.84 round Tralee, but that was a bit of a standout run. Only won 1 from 10 in Ireland, but is not renowned as a starter and can easily give You Never Learn a lovely run to the corner.
Okay, so 6 for you, Richard. I must admit he was my fancy as well, You Never Learn, but my eyes taken by this gamble because I reckon JJ Max's could end up going off 8. It was as big as 8-1 on the earlies today. Has been punted on course from 9-2 into 5-2 for Belinda Green. Form at Tralee, Richard, over shorter trips, so you'd imagine there's a bit of early dash in the locker.
Yeah, you'd expect so, wouldn't you? And it's interesting to note those 2 races at Tralee were from traps 4 and 5, so potentially from 2 moving off. Giving 1 a good draw, so I looked at 1, but I thought it was a little bit too much to do 1. But yeah, JJ Max is a very interesting bit. She could be anything. It's a question of how she can trap, how she takes the first bend. Comments in the trials have been middle to rails, rails to middle. So again, learning the track, learning where to run, but I think no doubt she's got some pace.
Yep, 1 to watch for sure, JJ Max's, but the favourite is the 6 You Never Learn, who's back into 2-1. 3-1 Absolute Machine is very steady on Betfair as well. Tom Lever's dog has got fine early gears and has been a factor in recent starts. Certainly showed good early pace on the return from a brief layoff last time out to lead till the run-up. But the runners in the traps now. Starter's going to check them over. We're both on the 6 here. Good luck. However you've played at home, let's go to the track and join Robin for the call.
Project Traps of race 4, get ready to cheer on selections. Here are the traps. And away we go. 3 fast away and leads from 1, 4 down the outside, 5, 2 and 6 are slowly away round the first bend though. Tegan's Lass is the leader there before the challenge. Absolute Machine towards the outside. They've gone clear 1 in behind that. Cash and Voyager. 5's next and 2, then 6 though, but neck and neck up front now. 3's battle back up the inside to take the lead back from 4. 1 in behind that and 5, they're off the final bend. 4 tries again, 1 sneaking up the inside though. 4 and 5 a tight finish to race 4.
Well, hats off to the grade. A great finish. The 2 dogs it didn't feature were the first and second in the market. You Never Learn and JJ Max's, but the other 4 were all there. And that favours 4 potentially. 5's right there on the outside, swooping late and fast. 3 and 1 aren't beaten too far either. So, it's a good finish. Let's have a look at the replay then and see exactly what happened here. And 6 was all over at the boxes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a very tight finish. It wasn't a very tight start, was it? 6 completely missed the break. We were looking at 2, the puppy as well, to see how that went, JJ Max's, and she didn't come away brilliant either, and then had nowhere to go at the bend with 3 and 4 coming across her nose. And so it disputed up front. Tegan's Lass in 3 and Absolute Machine in 4. They went at it hammer and tongs down the back straight. 5 made a significant move here at the 3rd corner, round the outside Fiora Shannon, but couldn't quite get there. I'm sure 4's won, Absolute Machine. I think it's very tight for 2nd. But yeah, they'll be pleased with that at the racing office. That's a very closely graded race.
Yeah, good finish indeed. Throw a blanket over the first 4 home. We will get you all the details and confirm that result. But for now, we're off for a quick break. Welcome back to Rpgtv. There's the scenes from our previous race at Shawfield. The Pat Kennedy trained Kloss Noah winning in good style. Over the 480-metre trip, and had some big scalps, including Nadura Dutch, who had no luck in running. But well done to the Kennedy team there. Good winner for them. I'm sure they'll enjoy that on Scottish Derby final night. Okay, now we're going to go back to the track, and there's a runners come out and parade for our next.
And the anticipation is building here at Shawfield. You can see the crowd is building up, and there's plenty more inside as well. Got our first big final of the night, the Rpgtv 500 trophy final. And it's got a really intriguing mix to it, Tony.
It's always in a competition that runs alongside the Scottish Derby. It's somewhat of a consolation for those that might have got knocked out in the first round. Always a competitive heat. The first round threw up a couple of shocks. Will the final throw another shock?
Really can't dismiss any of these greyhounds. They're just starting to parade now, and we want to be keen that we don't get in their way. But we'll go through them, go down the card, kicking off with Toolmaker Jet, who came up with that fabulous finish to beat Velvet Juliet last week.
Yeah, brilliant performance. I mean, it's just shown tonight how much local knowledge. The more looks round Shawfield you have, the better it is. And this fella's got the draw on the inside. I mean, if he holds his position, he's got to be a big runner, Jason.
And talking of big runners, Droopy's Live basically been there, done it, got the T-shirt, will certainly be staying on strongly.
Yeah, a nigh on 50% strike rate. She's proven over 4 bends, 6 bends. She's a great bitch. Needs to look sharp early. She's got a bit of pace on either side.
And talking about looking sharp early, Ballymartin Hero certainly did that last week with aplomb, getting the better of Droopy's Live by 2.5 lengths.
Yeah, owned by the Smoking Hot Syndicate. This dog's smoking hot when he gets it right at the boxes. He did that last week. I mean, 500 metres, he's probably testing his stamina, but with this quick track, 20 fast, that suited him last week. If he gets off the front, he'll be the one to catch.
And first run in this country for Velvet Juliet last week showed oodles of promise, only just picked up by Toolmaker Jet.
Well, she had the burden of being your nap last week, so that can be forgiven for her being beaten, Jason. But she's going to improve for the look round. 28.58 Newcastle, that's absolutely flying. And got a clear Ballymartin Hero.
And when we say it's an intriguing make-up, obviously you've got the early birds, but then you've got Millhouse Tommy, and who's going to be staying on so strongly, performed miracles to get up and beat Gazilli Shea last week.
Yeah, Millhouse Tommy, I mean, he started off his career with Ted Soppett, obviously well regarded, not a lot of mileage on the clock, and very strong performance. I mean, look, if there's any trouble up front, he's going to be staying on really strongly.
And lastly, but certainly not leastly, Gazilli Shea, ultra popular in these here parts and many other parts as well. Second in this last year.
Yeah, again, owned by the Smoking Hot Syndicate. EO's connections, nothing. Proven over various distances. Traded blows with the best on his travels. Second last year. I thought he ran well. I know he was beaten fair and square by Millhouse Tommy, but he didn't come away. Done his running to get into a qualifying position. I think he might have the make-up tonight.
Selection time?
I'm going to be with 6. I think 5 could run a big race if it gets crowded up front, but look for the early pace of Toolmaker Jet, Ballymartin Hero, Velvet Juliet. Who's going to give way around them first 2 bends?
All very exciting, and well done, Tony. Despite that heavy dinner, you didn't slur a word. The Rpgtv 500 trophy final then. A race to savour. Back to the studio.
Thank you, guys. There's the runners. Great to see them in close-up as well there, Richard, as they went through the parade. And we know Tony's with the 6. Selection-wise, I think, are you quite keen as well, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I'm a big Gazilli Shea fan, and especially I was with him last week in 5. I think he's better in 6. I was looking to reverse the order, as I said earlier on, of 2018, where he won the heat and was runner-up in the final. This year round, runner-up in the heat. Can he win the final? I think he can from trap 6.
OK, well, he is a 4-to-1 chance as they head to the boxes. We talked about the race earlier. I'm with 4 Velvet Juliet for Angela Harrison. I thought it was an eye-catching debut, but the juice has completely gone out the price. Was 11 to 4 round earlier today, and has been a lot bigger, hasn't it?
4.1 on Betfair Exchange at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's where the value lies now. 7 to 4 on course. Velvet Juliet. There's a bit of money for the red here. Toolmaker Jet, local runner.
Yeah, again, the thing...
Locally trained,
yeah. Toolmaker Jet, for me, could, if he goes round on the inside, he could just drag round Droopy's Life, you know, and she touched 8 to 1 earlier today, which I thought was massive.
Well, they are going into the boxes then for what will be race 5 at Shawfield, 7 to 4 of Velvet Juliet. So there's the signal. So, Richard, this one's for you.
Yes, the Racing Post Greyhound TV 500 Trophy Final. as Tony mentioned, runs alongside the Rpgtv Scottish Greyhound Derby. Fantastic racing prospect. Let's hope so. Here comes the hare and away they go, and it's a really good break by 4, Velvet Juliet. Ballymartin Hero racing to the corner, but she's got the drop on him as they go around, and she's just not gone round the bend brilliantly. Toolmaker Jet nipped round the inside, and Droopy's Live has followed Toolmaker Jet round as they go down the back straight. 1, Toolmaker Jet, couple of lengths clear. 3, coming again for some more. Ballymartin Hero showing tremendous pace round the back straight. Gazilli Shay's challenging on the outside with Droopy's Live for 3rd and 4th. But up front, 1, Toolmaker Jet has got this race in safekeeping. He's striding away. Fantastic style. What a win. 1 beats 2 and 3. What a performance that is.
Great performance indeed. It's 1 and 2, red and blue at Shawfield. 1, 2, 3, easy as that, as they say. But Toolmaker Jet winning for Willie Hislop there will surely be popular on course, because we saw there was a market move for the red jacket. Won the heat by a short head, has won the final by considerably more on this occasion, and they will be delighted with that. In fact, let's find out. Let's go to Jason.
Much more conclusive than...
Run good today. Run good. Fit for the night. I know fit.
And you would say strongly to win it in the front so early, it was a done deal.
And commute well. Dropped out and away.
Brilliant. Congratulations.
Very much.
Yep, delighted with that, I'm sure. And Toolmaker Jet, well, Richard was just in the right place at the right time here, but the break was all about Velvet Juliet.
It was, but as you can see, 1 didn't break particularly bad and showed that early pace to get into a very good challenging position. And it was just a question of how they went round. And I think 3 might just have nicked 4's back legs.
Yeah, I think you're right. And that slowed 4 up, hampered 3, and suddenly the door opened massively for 1 and was all pace from here on in.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the VT what a great performance it was for him to catch Velvet Juliet on debut last week. And here he's done it in absolutely phenomenal style. Knocked out the Derby itself behind King Turbo, put everything right here, and that's a great win for Willie Hislop, and he fully deserves this trophy, and I think he'll enjoy this success for a while.
Yeah, they certainly will. That'll be a very popular winner indeed, and the red jacket is certainly the trap to follow at Shawfield so far this evening. Will that continue right through to our big race? Well, let's turn our attention now to Crayford, 8:34. Oh, before we do that, let's hot-foot it back to Shawfield and speak to the lads.
I'm very pleased to say I'm here with Graham Rankin. Obviously, has got Jaguar Jack in the big one tonight, but other runners as well. Go through those first, if that's okay. In the Stayers Trophy, you've got Spirit Elvis in there, well supported latest. In fact, was supported last couple of times.
I don't. He's kind of a dog. He's kind of an off his running a wee bit, so I wouldn't be touching it anyway if it was me. He's a fast dog, but I think he's got ahead the new. It doesn't want to run. So, but if he go in front, he would definitely win.
That's Spirit. So not your money that's been.
No, my money's not going on it. No chance.
I must just say to everyone, before we start the interview, Graham said I don't want everyone knowing all of my business. Moving on, 9:53, Jaguar Sedan, 1-3 on the bounce.
He's going to be a good wee pop that. He's shown a lot of good early. Out of the dogs tonight, that's the one I think will run good, because he's got the early pace, and with the early pace he maybe get to the front, even though he's so young. So, well, we'll wait and see.
And Bluebell Hannah in the 10:27, the finale. Another one who's been supported, favourite or joint favourite, 4 out of 5 runs?
I don't know how they can bet it, because she doesn't even know how to run yet. And it's our last race tonight. It's going to be to Newcastle to run, because I don't think it's suited to in here.
So out of your other 3, as it were, Jaguar Sedan, definitely the one?
Oh, definitely. Aye, I think he's a nice pop.
Thanks, Graham. And now the Rpgtv Scottish Derby, trap for Jaguar Jack. When you spoke to JK, you said would come on. Certainly came on, fastest semi-final winner.
No point telling lies, are they? I'm a Scotsman. We don't tell lies. So, no, he just needs to come out. If he comes out, then we never know what will happen.
Well, we haven't seen him break as he can. He has got a 3:59.
No, I think he's a better dog out of trap 3. I'm not so sure about 4, to be truthful with you, but he might, if he came out, he maybe get in road to Jimmy's. That's his problem. And then one of the ones on the inside could win it.
When he was drawn middle and watched a couple of races at Sheffield, he ran straight to the bend and then cut in.
Aye. Well, he's one of the dogs. He'll go as straight as he can go, and then he'll cut in. But I think Sheffield wasn't his track, because every time he'd get running, he had to stop, and that was the problem. But Sheffield's a lovely track. I'm no bringing the track down in any way. Just that's the way Jack was at times.
If he leads, can anything back run him?
Well, 2 could, and Verve could. I don't think any of the rest could.
Graham, as ever, you've been brilliant. Stoic, but brilliant. But you do realise you've told everybody your business.
I don't care.
Excellent stuff. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Great stuff, Graham Rankin there. Of course, who is father of racing manager Daniel.
Indeed, yes.
What a party that'll be should they waltz away with the big prize tonight, for sure. But we must turn our attention to this 8:34 at Crayford, because race action only a couple of minutes away. Trap 6 was the non-runner earlier this evening, Razzle Dazzle Star, so 5 runners only, and maybe the market's reframed and favoured the 5 now because of that vacant box, Richard. Even money.
Yeah, I was going to be. I'm going to still stay with Droopy's Denny in Trap 1. I was judged on the fact that Droopy's Charm, her last 3 wins have all been from Trap 6.
Right.
And wasn't overly effective last week. Disappointing favourite, if you like, at 6-4, and finished second. Didn't run too badly, but didn't show best form.
Yeah.
Now with no dog on the outside, effectively is in 6. So
yeah.
This is where the stats start to get put wrong in real terms. So I can understand the market going this way. I'd already nailed my colours to the mast with Droopy's Denny. I'll stick with him. He's in really good form, both on the flat and over hurdles. His last trial there, 33.92, was a good enough trial for his spin round. I think he'll lead up Glassmoss Queen, and I thought he had a fantastic chance on the inside.
Well, Droopy's Denny is a 6-4 chance. Like you, I didn't want to be with 5. I actually was going to, believe it or not, I was going to go with the non-runner, who was a big price, Razzle Dazzle Star, but it was that sort of race for me. I thought it was a hard race to really get a handle on. Droopy's Denny, who's like the non-runner, trained by Rick Holloway, has got some solid form in the book, and 33.92 trial last time out does suggest that he won't be far away, and he can be a funny dog to catch, but when he does it well, doesn't he? And he's got wins at a few different tracks.
Yeah, that's right. Even on the card, win over 480 hurdles at Central Park, a 695 flat at Hove, as well as a 642 at Central Park, and that's just 3 wins on the card that we're currently looking at. So he's a good dog. He's a pacey dog. He's got stamina as well. It's just I just fancied him on the draw of didn't see much on the inside getting in his way.
Yeah. And of the others, well, we're too late now to say, but Mega Pop's the only one in the market that suggests might be a player still.
Yeah, a bit of early and still a puppy.
5-4 joint favourites at the off. Let's go to the track and join Robin.
Project Traps of race 5. Get ready to choose your selections. Here are the traps. And away we go. 4 into stride first from 3, 1 the inside, 5 and 2's the bank mark. It's 3 that sets the pace, so Mega Pops is out in front with 5 in behind that and 4, 1's in behind that and 2. But up front though, it's 3 that leads at the moment though. Mega Pops leads to the lap to go with 4 in chase. In second is Mystical Rosie. It's 5 in behind that. 1's gone out wide and 2's the bank marker. 3 going still the leader. Mega Pops for Gary Vincent there with 5. 1's making progress through the field now with 4 in behind that and 2. They're around the penultimate turns though. 3's the leader with 1 now into second with 5 in behind that and 4. 1 to challenge the inside. Droopy's Denny's making progress. 1 getting up the inside to win. 3 second and close for third.
Okay, trap 1 then does the business. Droopy's Denny for Rick Holloway comes through strong, late and fast to deny Mega Pop. So good selection again, Richard. And well, every chance for Droopy's Charm.
Yeah, every chance. Had broke with them on the outside, paced up, showed better pace than 4 to the corner. But 3 Mega Pop's the puppy. She's really got some early pace, and she manages to go around and effectively stops Droopy's Charm from doing so, and keeps that one round the outside, making it run even wider than needed. And Mystical Rosie also getting a little bit in Droopy's Charm's way, and it's all ended up falling into Droopy's Denny's lap in a big way. Great run from him, because he did clever there, the way he sidestepped 4 to come round the outside.
Yeah.
And then steps back to the inside to come flying past 5 to go and challenge 3. A really strong running, staying performance from Ricky Holloway's dog, and he, as we said before the race, he wins different tracks, different distances, different different types of event, as in flats and hurdles. So very versatile dog.
Versatile, strong, and a winner as well. Droopy's Danny does the business at Crayford in Heat 1 of the Crayford Vase. Now, it's Rpgtv Scottish Derby final night. Surely it's time we heard some bagpipes.
Well, we're behind the paper now after that wonderful victory by Toolmaker Jack, who's certainly not perturbed by the bagpipes, that's for sure.
Aye, he likes the bagpipes, he's been into them. Aye, he's a young dog coming on, that's just what he is. To me, he's an up-and-coming star, but we'll see.
I mean, he's absolutely bouncing, and that was strong off position in that race.
He didn't come out very well, but he showed his pace in the bend when he went round. Aye, he's got a good pace, so you can't ask for any better than that.
And I tell you what, your smile's pretty broad as well, quite correctly.
Well, we've had a wee bit run a lot there with the Island, I know, as well. When the boss won the Concordia at Island Day, so we can't complain. We're getting our share.
I think it's fair to say future very bright and possibly going back to Ireland?
Yeah, probably. Aye, possibly going back. Depends, but there's nothing really here for him. It's all handicap racing here. So, and he's got 7 or 8 dogs in Ireland, so that's where he'll be going likely. I take it'll be there. That's what does here, is it not?
And he's got it done tonight in a brilliant style. Congratulations to you once more.
Right, no, thanks very much. I'll be out here. Where did we go here now this date?
And you've got all this, and then you're going to have the presentation. You'll get to speak to Tony Bullen. How about that?
Well, we'll see. I may be away with them. Hopefully. Yeah, I've got some other dogs to do right enough. I've got 4 dogs to run.
And who would have the best chance out of those?
It's hard to say. 2 of them's a handicap race. In fact, they'll all be handicapped with 2 in each race, so it's hard to pick a winner in here, especially in a graded race.
Tell me afterwards and I'll tell you one later. Well done, well done.
Aye, right, thanks very much.
Oh, great stuff as ever from Jason, enjoying the atmosphere. Good to hear the pipes as well there, Richard.
Absolutely. Totally synonymous with the Scottish Derby.
Always part of the evening. Now the runners coming out to parade for our next race at Shawford. Maybe a chance to catch up with a couple of emails.
Yeah, I have. Colin Cheetah came back on. Again, sorry, Colin, we didn't get a chance to read them out. It's been quite a packed show, but he fancied Droopy Shark earlier on. Derek Reynolds has been on Evening Gents on 4 and 6 in the challenge, and he also fancies Chubby's Caviar in the 909 at Crayford. Both of our naps, Phil.
Yep. And well, thanks to Jason Gander, who's tweeted in. Jason, of course, part of the Star Sports team. Says, best of luck, everyone involved with the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final tonight. Our biggest liability is Braveheart Bobby, but it's a great final and a great card to back it up at Shawfield.
I've got an email from John Mealy. He says, hi lads, great show as usual, great night's racing. I'm on the Verve anti-post for the final. And a question for Richard. You mentioned about watching videos of racing at Shelbourne Park. Where am I able to watch such videos of racing in Ireland? Cheers, John. It's the IGB website, igb.ie, and you can go to results and then Greyhound search, or you can just go to results and search by track. Entirely up to you if you want to search a particular dog or a track's meetings results. All on there, don't even have to log in.
No, it's all there. Now look, the favourites are flip-flopping here. We heard from Graham Rankin, Spirit Elvis, his favourite in one. He wasn't a fan of, whereas the money has come in all day for Gloss Hunter in 3 for Pat Kennedy's kennels, already off the mark this evening. They're playing up their winnings for sure now because 3's into 7-4, Richard. I had my mark by the 3, but early favourite was the 1. Looks like it's all going to change now.
Yeah, they've got some guidelines to work on here, haven't they, with Gartcloss Hunter. Ran behind Rancher's Faith last time. We'll see that win earlier on. And the race before was 3rd behind Zulu Gog, when Rancher's Faith was 2nd in that race. So that's franking the form left, right and centre.
Well, let's have a look at Spirit Elvis in action. This was going back to January when running in good form and winning at Sheffield from Trap 2 on this occasion.
Yeah, from Trap 2. It was only a 4-dog race. Outdoor Queen, Sybil Covert and Catry Clay, the other runners. But this was a strong running performance from Spirit Elvis. Outdoor Queen in front from Trap 6, very quick away, soon clear. But Spirit Elvis in 2, the 2-to-1 chance on this occasion, gets himself into good position and starts to gradually close the gap and takes it up as they come round the last 2 bends. And he comes through on the inside, goes past and comes away to win by 3 3/4 lengths here. A decent performance. I mean, Sybil Cover's won we see on the show quite often a decent standard of stay from trap 3.
Yeah.
So I think that just gives you an idea of how good Spirit Elvis can be when he gets it right.
Yeah, that was a fine example indeed. Now the problem with him now, as I said, I wanted to be with the 3. I didn't want to be with the 1. Listening to Graham, you're thinking he could be your lay, but the price is getting a little bit dangerous now.
Yeah, it is.
See,
yeah.
and that's a good reminder of what he can do when things go his way.
Yep, indeed. I'm also want to be against 1, but I'm with 2, Ballymac Boycott. He ran in the 2018 Regency at Hove when he was trained by Robert Smith at Swindon, and he won over 6.95 prior to that event. He stays. There's a chance that form, if he retains enough ability, that just might be good enough.
Okay, well he's about 7-2. Oh, he's 4-1, of course. He's actually trading under at the moment on Betfair. For those of you who like to use that as a guide, potentially some good support for Ballymac Boycott on the betting exchange there. But 6-4 favourite and very firm is Gloss Hunter. Now 5-4 as the runners head across the infield towards the boxes.
Got a couple of quick emails.
I was going to say, keep the tweets and emails coming in. Yeah, go for it.
Ross Miller's been on. He says Chronodi 0 eased last week, first time over the trip at the sprint pickup. Lost lots in running, so thank you for that. And also David McMillan. Hi guys, can you just say a big hello to my sister Diane and her man Billy? They've come up to watch the Shorefield Greyhounds tonight. Thank you from David McMillan in Uddingston.
Well,
thank you, David.
Good evening all. Hope you're enjoying the action. You found a winner or two as well. The market here would certainly steer you towards trap 3, Gloss Hunter, who's evens on course now, getting to the point where he's almost too short. The dog who was second in that S1 won by Rancher's Faith. Of course, we saw that footage earlier. We've also seen Rancher's Faith win again tonight. But yeah, 5-4 again. He's eased out a fraction.
Trial on the 23rd of March as well, third, beaten 5 behind Greenwell Jean. And again, second behind Greenwell Jean, beaten 6 1/4.
Well, yeah, the clues are all there for Gloss Hunter in terms of the quality of some of his runs. But certainly the value's gone out the price. That 4-1 that was around earlier today and slightly bigger of a distant memory. It's 9-4 Spirit Elvis, who Graham Rankin didn't want to be with the trainer. Let's find out what happens on course. Into 2s again at the off Spirit Elvis. There's on its way round to the boxes for this 670-metre contest. And that's it, away we charge. Well, as the run to the first bend sort themselves out, it is 3 who has the early lead, but quickly joined and passed by 4 Iams a Tiger. So the Black Jacket leads early, 4 from 3. 2 Ballymac Boycott is now slipped through and is on the premises as well. It's 6-5-1 to the rear. Out in front, though, it's the Black Jacket of Iams a Tiger. Going well, opens up, goes 2 or 3 clear. From Ballymac Boycott, who now begins to motor. Down the back straight we go. 4 being pressed by 2 up the inside. Here comes 1, Spirit Elvis, who's come with an almighty run. And as they head between the last 2 turns, the Blue Jacket takes over. 1 is the big danger, though. It's a Ballymac Boycott from 1. Spirit Elvis to the line. It's going to be on the nod this, but the Red Jacket does get there. Graham Rankin's Greyhound looks like he has swooped to conquer. Looks like it's another 1 and 2 at Shorefield. Let's watch it again and see for sure what happens here. But Graham said he didn't think the dog wanted to win at the moment. Looks like tonight he very much did.
Yeah, very much similar to the VT we watched for him running at Sheffield, wasn't it? Where he dropped himself out a little bit and came with a withering run to get up and win. Good early pace from 4 Iams a Tiger. Gloss Hunter, the gambler of the race, couldn't get to the front, and I'm going to guess that's probably what they were after. And here 2 nipped up the inside and just edged him off a bit as well, Gloss Hunter. So at this point, I was quite happy with Ballymac Boycott. I thought we've got a chance here. I know he stays, and there's a gap developing back to the 3rd. But just out of the shot there, you can see 1 is just making progress, and then all of a sudden just appears.
He eats the ground, doesn't he?
Absolutely does. And very cleverly goes round the outside. I mean, he's prepared to go in and out, isn't he? He's a clever dog, Spirit Elvis, and he stays outside and nails Ballymac Boycott very close to the line.
Yeah, he's straightened up, he's put his head down, he's gone for the line, and there it is. He's delivered 1 and 2, and another win for the Red Jacket. OK, enough from me. More from Shorefield.
Welcome back to Shawfield. I'm very pleased to say I'm joined by Jimmy and Hannah Fennick, who have got Cooning Jack, of course, running in the big one, the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final. First of all, to say, Jimmy, first Derby finalist.
Yeah, first Derby finalist for us, yeah. I've had a couple of finalists in Group 1s before. A long time ago, Krakow was in the Northern Putty Derby final, which finished second for us. And then we had another dog, Denwell Star, was in the All-Ireland Cup final, you know, and he finished last in that one. But we're hoping for a good show tonight with Cooning Jack.
Now, I must say, the interview for the first round really told people what they wanted to know. And, of course, that was done by Mum, Melanie, and you, Hannah, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, and Hannah, we were chatting beforehand, and genuinely think it's got a big chance tonight if things go his way, a bit of trouble on the outside.
Yeah, he has to come out as well. He has to get out, yes. But I hope he gets round and stays well, and hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. And of course, unlike his trainer who slimmed down a lot, he is a big boy. He has got that early pace. And Jimmy, he got so much experience round here, second in the Droopy's Ninja at Stud Stakes, ran in this, of course, last year.
Yeah, he did. You know, he seems to took this track quite well. Whenever he's had a trial, he's always trailed well. Standing here, when we'll catch him at the trip, going on first time, we'll see exactly where he runs, and he's actually really tight to this reel at the first bend. So really, you know, trap one, looking at the race, is a great draw for him. He's just got to trap well, use his size and his opportunity. If it rises, you know, we're not the fastest dog in the race, we know that, but it's great to be here. And in finals, you just never know. We could be lucky, maybe we might not be, but we're just glad to be here. It's a great occasion. I love coming to Scotland. I love like coming in and supporting these competitions that they have. Great crack.
Well, he really couldn't be in better. And I've got to say, Hannah, final question to you, really. I noticed for Nottingham, looking ahead 200 to 1. Now, that's just insulting, isn't it?
Hey.
Worth a bit of a bet at 200 to 1 before he wins the final tonight?
Definitely, yeah.
And there's only one way I'd ask you both to join in this. Looking at one of your other runners who's enthralled us here on Rpgtv. Can we end with a dilly-dilly?
Aye, don't be silly, get on dilly-dilly.
Best of luck. Brilliant.
Fantastic stuff. Always good to hear from Jimmy and his daughter as well there. I wish them well tonight. I have cursed them slightly. He's my MB, Cooning Jack. I think, as do they, that he's got a fantastic draw on the inside, and he could just spring a surprise tonight. But that race is approaching now. The 9:20, the big one, of course, tonight at Shawfield. But for now, the 8:51 is nearly upon us. This is an A4 graded contest. 4 and 5, 2 to 1 joint favourites on course. Madam Mumu out to 5 to 2, 5 to 1 the top Droopy's Hide, 7 to 1 the outsider. Blast off Romero. Richard, what do you make of this one?
Yeah, it was a very tight little race. 5 runners with New Lawn Good not standing the ground at the overnight stage. Raymond's Return, obviously well supported in the market from an opening 3 to 1 in, but hasn't won for 13 races. I was looking elsewhere just purely on that, although ran well last time out. Madam Mumu was an interesting one for Jimmy Daly. Opened 6 to 4 on the early prices this morning, but I thought that was a little bit short. I did see it drifted out afterwards, but I'd already started to look elsewhere. I've ended up with one here, Droopy's Hide. Been a while since last win, that's 8 races, 21st of December, I think it was. Looks to have a good draw on the inside, blast off Romeo. Moved off and crowded a quarter last time. So up the inside, Droopy's Hide.
Okay, Droopy's Hide for Richard. Track 1 going great guns in the challenge at the moment. 6 wins, 3 clear of trap 4. I'll go with 5 Sportsman Sky. Hasn't got a blistering strike rate, David Lee's greyhound, but did win last time out, so may well just be coming back to some good form, and has got quicker runs in the locker as well. Draw on the outside with vacant in 6 will suit. 5 for me. But the runners behind the boxes for this 8:51. 2 to 1 each of 2, 4 and 5. As they start to load. Best of luck. However you played at home, Madam Mumu The Drifter out to 5-2. Let's see, the last one goes forward, that's it. They're all loaded. Here's the starter with the flag. This is race 6 at Crayford. A4 is the grade here. Let's go and see what happens and join Robin on the mic.
And up on your traps of race 6. Get ready to cheer your selections. And off we go. One boy well on the inside. 3, 4, 5 and 2 on the run to the first bend. 4 maybe just the leader from 5. It's 3 in behind it and 1, 2's in behind that. Those Sportsman Sky's the leader for Dave Lee. It's gone on with 4 in chase. Second is Raymond's Return. 3's in behind that, trying to close 1, 2 in behind that. But up front though, it's 5 that leads. 4's trying to close though. 3 towards the inside. They're off the final bend. 5 holding on. 5 beats 4. 3 third.
Yep, 5, 4 and 3 is how they finished. It did prove a nice draw for Sportsman Sky, and she also proved very much in the sort of shape to take advantage of it here, and she's paced up really nicely to the bend. And I like the way she got round 4 and cut across and put her head down, Richard, and dug in down the back straight.
Yeah, I did as well. It was a good break from 4 and just couldn't quite clear. 3 just getting in the way. 5, fantastic draw on the outside. As you said, Phil, good selection. And took it up on around the quarter stage on the crown of the 2 bends and kicked on down the back straight. A really good performance from her. And yeah, Dave Lee on the score sheet for the second time tonight.
Yeah.
Raymond's Return ran well in defeat again. He's been doing that a couple of times too many perhaps, but he's still run well. 5 beats 4, clear of the third.
Yep, well clear of the others. Sportsman Sky, you winner there. Now, we had some great stuff from Shaw. We've had the bagpipes. It's about time, though, now that we heard from a Scottish Derby winning trainer. Let's go back and see.
Kitching, they think they're doling out money there. Well, I've got the Cash Point with me. Cash Point Carly.
Hello, Jason.
Hello, Carly. Now, of course, great memories for you here. 2010, Nambisco.
Long time ago, 9 years ago, wow.
And it's a wonderful atmosphere here once more, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been up here a few times for a few derbies, and it's always a great atmosphere. As you can see tonight, it's always a good crowd.
You won many big races, obviously. Was the Scottish Derby just a little bit special?
Obviously, it's a derby, so it was very special. And say, coming to Scotland, it's a great night, a great night's racing, and I'm sure it'll be a great final tonight.
Now, the reason you're called Cash Point is because you tipped so very, very well. Who's going to win the big one tonight?
I think the 6 dog's very well drawn, but I'd love to see Trap 5 Droopy's Verve win. I think he can.
So Droopy's Verve for you. Now you're up in the restaurant. Tell me, I haven't been up there myself. Do they sell alcoholic beverages?
I'm sure I see you drinking a few earlier. Selling porky pies.
Okay. As ever, brilliant to hear from Carly. See you back on the show soon. And once more, your tip is?
Trap 5 Droopy's Verve.
Kitching!
Great to hear from Carly there. I don't know about Jason telling porky pies. He's already eaten a few. He's probably found somewhere where they do a deep fried one as well. Knowing him, he's a real connoisseur and a gourmet to boot as well. But now this is the 8:59 betting on your screens. We heard, if you remember, at the top of the show when Jason was talking to Tony Bullen, that Raise the Stakes was the one for him tonight. Is a 7-4 chance. So is the favourite Sparta Master at 2-1. Would you be on board with Tony here?
I'm with Tony, but the other way round, because in Tony's interview, he said he fancied Race the Stakes. He thought 6 for the other Master was the other runner, Big Danger. I fancy Sparta Master in 6, and I think 1 Raise the Stakes is the Big Danger. Very well drawn on the outside. Not only the sole wide seed, but 5 for me will go straight across as well. So if he can start just a little bit better than he did last time behind Toolmaker Jet, who's just franked the form. Yeah. And Greenwell Thea before that, he beat her, and she's franked the form tonight. I think he's got a fantastic chance around the outside.
Yeah, if you look at those last couple of runs, then there is a lot of boxes being ticked, isn't there, from Sparta Master. I was sort of persuaded a bit by JK in the flying forward today, Killiford Banjo. He made a fair case for the dog. I mean, he has got some class, he's got some pace. He thinks he might be able to lead, show his early pace and get across from Trap 5. It may just suit him being further away from the fence.
Yeah, the question for me with Killiford Banjo is getting across knee-high in 3.
OK, well, before we talk about any more of the runners, let's have a look at Sparta Master in action, Richard's selection. And this was him in winning form on the 20th of April, beating Greenwell Theatre, as you mentioned. We've seen winning top of the show tonight.
Yeah, and again, you can see here the benefit of the outside draw. Went to the corner with them, swooped around the outside along with Greenwell Theatre, and she said just now, and we saw earlier, you know, she's done no harm to this form.
No.
And he proves strong from there, kicks into the third bend, drives that really well. You know, she does challenge, she is game and consistent. He was 11-10 favourite on this occasion, Sparta Master, in this A1, and I think he's got an obvious chance on the outside tonight.
Okay, Sparta Master for Richard there, and he is an either 4 chance now. The punter's getting a little bit stuck into Razor Stakes here in Trap 1. What is the strong case for Razor Stakes, Richard? Because you look at recent form, yes, okay, he didn't get a run behind Droopy's Verve last time out, but you know, he's not been tearing the track up, but it's what he's got in the locker, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, there's money for him tonight. We've seen some money tonight for a few Trap 1s.
Yeah.
I think Trap 1 might have won a few races tonight as well, especially at Shorefield. So there's maybe that little bit of a bandwagon on the roll. It's a drop in class for Razor Stakes. Droopy's Verve, Priceless Blake, the 2 runs in the Derby, and then if you go back to the Sheffield run, he was up against Swan Style, who's no mean performer in his own right. So effectively, for me, a drop in grade here for Razor Stakes. A lovely drawing one. You look at Snazzy Reaction, where that normally runs from, and a 6-bend handicapper as well to boot. Don't expect to see Snazzy Reaction up early, and I expect to see that one moving off to the middle. The big question for 5 and for 1 is 3.
I like Nihao in terms of what he's got. His early pace is you know, it can be really eye-catching, can't it?
Exactly. He could hold the key to this race, the outside of the field, but might just hold the key to the race, because if he could be a hazard for either or both. 1 and 5. Sorry.
Well, the runners still milling around the infield. As we mentioned earlier, keep your tweets and emails coming in. A chance to maybe get through one.
Yeah, we're not far away from the Derby final itself, and Jeff Bynes has been on. Says Droopy's Verve cannot win from Trap 5. It's a big lay, he says.
Yeah, well, I'm against Droopy's Verve tonight in terms of the final, but I don't know whether I can lay him, knowing just how superb he is. Because if any dog's going to beat a draw like that,
when we get to the final, I'll give you the reasons why Droopy's Verve from 5 is one to be with. Jason Ransom's been on, says great show, loving Jason at Shorefield. I just wondered, if you did a favourite presenters poll, how would the sponsors price it up? For me, Jason surely got to be favourite.
He's got to be out there. I'll be backing him, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Edward Murphy's been on. This is from the Smurfs. He says, hi guys, great show tonight, top class racing, top class coverage. Trixie tonight is Nat, Braveheart Bobby. Unlucky last week, Trap 3 will suit. Next best, Drive On Junior, 10.35 Crayford. A bit unlucky, Dog of Late, massive pace. Lottie's Rocket for the Trixie, 10.19 Crayford. Great show from Rpgtv. Regards from the Smurf. That's Wayne, Niall, Ian and Popo.
Good to hear from you guys. Good to hear from you. And as the runners go into the boxes, I think I'm going to go for the lay here, Richard. I'm going to lay Razor Stakes on the premise that your Sparta Master can deliver around the outside. So that will be that'll be another -£1.25 on my total in a moment or two, given the ones we missed tonight. But this is one for you to call home.
It is brave lay on the inside with the way the Trap 1s have been running, Phil. But good luck to you, and good luck to anybody out there who's played whatever you decided to do here. The market dominated by 1 and 6. Race 7. Here we go with and a good break from 3 here, knee high. That he's going to go to the corner. 5 as well, pacing up. 1 on the inside. They go to the bend. 2's bounced off the rails, but he's fine. And 6, Sparta Master, does use the draw to bolt round and go. Quickens down the back straight to go clear. Killiford Banjo in second in 5. Then it's 4 Spanish Maiden. Then 1, 3 and 2's out the back. But Sparta Master's getting lots of cheers from the crowd, I think, because he's pulled 5. 6 lengths clear now from 5 and 4. Sparta Master, high, wide and handsome, coming home alone to win for the Striped Jacket. 6 beats 5 and 4.
Yeah, great call, Richard. Good selection. You managed to get me a winning lay in the process, because I heard what you said and the form was good. It's been franked twice this evening by Greenwell Theatre and Toolmaker Jet, and Sparta Master has underlined how good that form is with a nice run here. And again, you know, as you said, 3 was a potential hazard to the early paces, and trapped and with 1 went level, but 5's outgunned them to the bend,
Yeah, it wasn't the hazard in the end. Looked it out of the boxes, didn't it? The way he trapped
it was made for 6, wasn't it? The makeup of the race, and he's good enough to take advantage.
And you saw 5 move across quite markedly, gave 6 loads of room. And if you watch 6 closely at the boxes, he actually moves off a touch from 6.
Yeah.
But absolutely runs the bends brilliantly for a wide runner.
And his dad won the Ledger. He's not stopping, is he?
No, exactly.
It's a nice run, high, wide, and handsome. There was plenty of punters, I'm sure, did follow Sparta Master, and they've been well rewarded there. Big run. Well done to the Ferguson camp. Okay, the next race at Shawfield, of course, will be the big one, the Scottish Derby. And we can now show you how the semi-finals went again last week. Kicking off with Droopy's Nadal, who beat Braveheart Bobby. So traps 5 and 1, the 2 to watch.
Yeah, trap 4, Ball Sports Extra, took them along in the early stages, went across to the inside, but 5, Droopy's Nadal, always there or thereabouts on the outside. Braveheart Bobby in 1 makes a significant move down the back straight, tries to go up the inside of 4 at this bend and basically hampers each other at that point, gives 4 a nudge, but stops himself, a little momentum loss, and hands the advantage to Droopy's Nadal on the outside. A really good run from Droopy's Nadal. There were doubts going into this whether he'd stay. He stays.
He stayed all right, and so did Jaguar Jack off the front in the second semi-final. He ran from trap 1, had a lovely make-up here, took full advantage. He leads home Cooning Jack in trap 2, finished second.
Been off the card for a few weeks. Used the run before that against Priceless Blake as a prep run in the first round and stepped forward markedly here in this semi-final from a lovely draw up the inside. And Cooning Jack, big dog that he is, he's got plenty of pace. He moves off just a touch from the inside, and you can see there as he swings off around the last. But Jaguar Jack, good early pace. A good winner for the local, Graham Rankin.
Good winner for the local, and a good winner for the competition favourite in the third semi-final. Droopy's Verve for Angela Harrison was imperious form from trap 1. Leads home the local favourite, Greenwell Jean, who finishes late and fast. Trap 4 for second.
Yeah, it's no surprise that with a dog that's got 19 wins from 30 runs, that he's got a good record from nearly every trap that he runs in. But he's 5 from 6 from trap 1, Droopy's Verve, and made full use of the inside there. A good break, but not a fantastic one. But pace, no doubt, he's got plenty of pace, and it took him to the front in a really nice style. And then, he stays as well. He's class through and through. Great performance. Strong one in second for Greenwell Jean.
Excellent stuff, thank you, Richard. There's a presentation from the last race, which was the Rpgtv Greyhound Trust West Scotland 500 trophy, and Janice Kennedy of the trust there is on hand to present the prize to Winning Connections. Great to see people enjoying their big night. We'll hear from her later, hopefully on. So good stuff from Shawfield there. Now, big race for us here in the studio, Crayford 909. This is the double nap. Both myself and Richard independently have gone gung-ho for Chubby's Caviar. And we can show you her in action, Mike Wallash's bitch. This was her enjoying her biggest race of the year so far, winning the Henlow Gold Cup in fine form.
Yeah, obviously, an Oaks finalist behind Ravenswood Flow at the end of last year, but tipped by trainer Mark Wallace to maybe win a big event or two this year, and did that here with the Henlow Gold Cup. And Chubby's Caviar, did really well from a moderate start, got herself into a good position, went well down the back straight, turned that second last bend, just hitting the front, and comes away to win by a length and a half from It's Your Mate in a very nice time as well with 33.58. She's got a bit of class. I think the 5:40 Crayford will suit.
Yeah, she's been good over Henlow's 5:50. She's been good over 5:75 at Romford. As you say, she's got pace to compete certainly against her own sets over 4:80 and that sort of trip as well. So yeah, lots to like about her. She went round in 23.59 for 3:80, which for me is a very good sighter. It's just whether she handles the 5:40 boxes first time up. In opposition in the betting is Southfield Ariel, Dean Charles's bitch, who has been in red hot form recently. Won an S2, then followed up with back-to-back open race wins over this trip. She won in 34.28, then she won in 34.01. And she's obviously very respected by the locals, Richard, hence the fact that she is only a 5-2 chance.
Yeah, and why wouldn't she be? As you said, a hat-trick of wins, and an S2 win not that far back as well, in 16th of March. So 4 wins from last 6 races. Southfield Ariel, anybody who's been going to Crayford, I'm sure, wants to back her along the way. So yes, no surprise that she maintains support.
Yep, there's the Betfair prices. 2.32 Chubby's Caviar is favourite on Betfair as well as the runners mill around. Trap Challenge, Trap 1 still going great guns, 6 wins. 4 the nearest pursuer with 3. 5 and 6 have 2 apiece. 2 and 3 have yet to score. But still, we're around the halfway mark, aren't we, of our evening. So still scope for some of those to get involved. But it would be a big ask maybe for Snowden J to break the duck for Trap 2 here, an 8-1 chance. But Judy Luckhurst's Greyhound, if it turned into a war of attrition, has got stamina in the locker, Snowden J, but may just get taken off his feet a little bit early on here.
Yeah, won a couple of weeks ago, didn't he, over 7-1-4, holding Nanny Cakes, who's a strong runner, and there was 4 to 5 to do so. So had previously obviously ran in the Golden Jacket behind Shotgun Bullet.
Yep, it's definitely got stamina in the locker, that's for sure, as the runners make their way across to the other side of the stadium then for this 5:40. This is Heat 2 of the Crayford Vase. Heat 3 to come a little bit later on. Of course, well, I'm assuming the final will be here on the show next Saturday. But it's 4 qualifying, it's a semis, of course it is. So I'm just reading the criteria here. So yeah, lots of scope in this competition. But a few clues tonight, that's for sure. Okay, runners heading to the boxes then. Even money, Chubby's Caviar, 5-2 Southfield Ariel. 6-1 on the slide is Swift Casey. Snowden J just nibbled back into 7s, having touched 8s. And it's 10-1 Lissane Banter and Dunton Doglet around the 16-1 mark on Betfair is the 5. So here at Friendless, as they line up behind the boxes. Been good action so far from Shaw, Richard, and the big race is drawing ever closer.
Yes, just around the corner, isn't it? It starts to get excited now, and I know we've both napped Chubby's Caviar, but I'm always like, can we get to Shawfield, please? It's big races are what gets the blood boiling and the blood flowing, and I'm really looking forward to how the Rpgtv Scottish Derby is going to play out.
Yeah, it's always an absorbing competition. You never quite get the final you expect, do you, in any competition? But it always, for me, there's always a quality element to it, and if the winner isn't a supreme champion, there's always a great story behind it as well. Like the hot pipe dog that was mentioned earlier on. It's a great comp, it really is, and I think everyone on the channel's delighted to be involved in terms of the sponsorship, that's for sure, and the coverage.
It's like, as you say, all competitions, you need a bit of luck, you need things to go your way, and there's always a hard luck story or 10.
Yes, yeah, usually involving my anti-post bets, but that's another story. Okay, well, looks like they're all in now for Crayford's 7th race of the night, Heat 2 of the Ladbrokes.com Crayford Vase. Good luck, however you play. We're with a 4. Let's go to the track and join Robin.
And up on your traps of race 7, get ready to your selections. Here are the traps. And off we go. A pretty level break. 4 broke well on leads from 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6 in behind that. 4 leads though. Chubby's Caviar for Mark Wallace leads at the moment. They were 2 and 3 closing the inside. 4 going very wide at the turn. Let's 3 up the inside to lead now. Southfield Ariel maybe just the leader, but 2's coming up the inside of Snowden J with Judy Luckhurst. 1's in behind them 4, 5's in behind them 6. Down towards the penultimate turns we go. 1's charging up the inside. Lissane Banter from Mark Fennick. 1 has taken over now from 2. 3's in behind that 5. 6 is in behind them as they head on the final bend. 1 leading from 2. 3's in behind that. 1 holding on. 1 beats 2.
Well, there we go. Didn't go our way. Didn't go the way of Chubby's Caviar, who didn't hold the bend. 1, 2 and 3 looks like how they finished. So we'll show you the replay of that race a little bit later on. But it's the big race now coming up at Shawfield. Let's go back to the track and enjoy the atmosphere with our team there.
The anticipation is reaching fever pitch, and I'm going to make my way through the crowd here to the betting behind and get some ideas of the winner. Hello, sir. Who do you fancy?
Droopy Nadal.
Droopy Nadal for you. Well, best of luck to you. We're making our way to the cauldron of the betting. Sir, who do you fancy?
That one.
Canine Jack. You want a price?
34th. 34.3 kilo, just below the first bend.
Excellent stuff, right, making our way through. I've got Tony here with me as we come through. Tony, it's going to be a wonderful... I've lost Tony, it's going to be a wonderful... Who do you fancy starting the final?
Trap 1, big man.
Canine Jack, okay, Canine Jack. Tony, what a final that we've got here. Canine Jack, big boy, on the inside, lots of people going for.
Absolute brilliant final, Jason. This is anybody's race. Who do you fancy, fella, for the final?
Oh, it's got to be Droopy's Verve.
Droopy's Verve?
Five's a certainty.
Okay, a certainty, we heard that. Right. Who do you fancy, sir, for the final?
Droopy's Verve, it's my friend's dog.
Oh, there you go, connection with Droopy's Verve. Right, we're going in now to this is what betting rings always used to be like and should be like in greyhound racing. Just look at this, it's absolutely buzzing. I don't know how we can get this. Who you on, sir? Jackie or Jack?
Every day, every week, always.
Jackie or Jack for that gentleman here. We're going to go here. Sir, who are you backing in the final?
Trap 5.
Trap 5, Droopy's Verve. It's making our way in here. You can see the scrum. Come on, is everybody back in?
5.
Verve, we're hearing lots of Tony, unsurprisingly, lots of people Droopy's Verve.
Yeah, Droopy's Verve, I was surprised. I mean, obviously the favourite, but there's a few outsiders with lively chances.
Certainly is. There's Billy King, the owner, as if he's rich enough already, taking in the money. Who are you with, sir?
Trap 5.
Trap 5, lots of Droopy's Verve.
Bottom.
Okay, Nadal. Sir?
6.
You're with 6. Droopy's Nadal as well.
Top 6.
Droopy's Nadal.
1.
Cooning Jack, we're here and there. Just look how busy it is. Absolute scrum.
Hello there.
Good luck. Right, I'm going to try and get to Billy. Give a quick wait. He's obviously very busy at the moment. Sorry, sir, pushing through. Billy King, owner and bookmaker here. King of Scotland. Billy, quick word, who are they backing, Billy? Quick word, who are they backing?
They're backing the favourite. Come on,
all with the favourite. Bet with Billy. Let's have a Scottish winner as well. Greenwell Jean. Remember Hot Pipe. Who are you with, sir? 1 Canine Jack. Right, we're going to make our way out onto the track.
Wants to be on the favourite at the moment, Jason.
I'm surprised we haven't heard any...
want Evans the favourite. I'm not sure Billy's going to go Evans.
I'm surprised we've heard no Braveheart Bobby, Jack you or Jack. Everybody wants to be with Verve, Nadal or Canine Jack. We're going to go back to the studio and then we'll take in the parade. Back to you, Phil.
Brilliant stuff from Jason and Tony there. It's like a bear pit, isn't it, the belly ring at Shorefield, and Billy King loves taking on those favourites.
We've both been there, I think we've been there at the same time as well, Phil.
Yeah, back in the days, the Sky coverage, Yeah,
it's a fantastic place, and you go through those through the curtains, into the, as you say, the bear pit, and fantastic atmosphere. Billy King, very dominant in the market.
Very much so. I recognise a few of the faces in that ring as well there. But there's a result at Crayford. It was a turn-up, 1 and 2. Look at that. You like your red and blue forecasts. 10 to 1 and 7 to 1. 3 was third. The forecast £72.90. I don't think Chubby's Caviar even qualified on this occasion. Trap Challenge. Well, look at Trap 1. 4 clear now. I think we've got that one right so far, Richard. Anyway, both on the red. But 7 wins for Trap 1 is very much the box to be with this evening at this stage. We're waiting for the betting to come through from the final at Shorefield. The way, we caught a glimpse of Billy's board there. The way they were talking, there was 2 dogs being mentioned, wasn't there? 1 and 5, which I think are our selections here in the studio. You're with Verve, am I right?
Yep, I'm with Verve, yep. And I know you fancy Cooning Jack.
I like the draw. Let's go across and look at the runners. There they are. I'm a fan of the draw. I spoke to Jimmy Fennick when we did the train reviews, and you pick up when you talk to a trainer. I mean, obviously everyone's excited to be involved in the final, but I think Jimmy thinks he was very okay. Well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's go across back to Shorefield and speak to the guys.
Slightly calmer waters outside the betting ring. Rpgtv Scottish Derby final, though. Let's go through them, Tony. Canine Jack, obviously Jimmy Fennick's first finalist. A lot of people tipping Trap 1, Canine Jack, and let's face it, not a bad trap this evening.
No, he raced out of Trap 1 once at Toaster, flashed the boxes. I mean, if he flashes the lids, he could take them with him because he will move middle. his trainer's lean. He's always been a heavyweight of a dog. He could make his presence felt with a good start.
I think it took Droopy's Davy to beat him on that occasion. Trap 2, Greenwell Jean, Pat Flat, a wonderful story as much as anything else. If there's trouble out front, we'll be staying on strong.
Yeah, brilliant. The solitary success came in 2017 at Newcastle, but the bitch has had her problems, but all credit to Pat. I mean, he looks enthusiastic tonight. I think he thinks a big run's coming from this bitch.
Irish Eye certainly could be smiling as Braveheart Bobby gets it done, and Jack Buckley hardly put you off. Of course, they won with Capricorn 2009.
Well, look, we're in Scotland. The Braveheart theme will be brilliant. If he gets the freedom, he might well oblige.
Graham Rankin already put us away tonight with Elvis, but he's got Jaguar Jack here. If he can break like he can, big player.
Look, he's a golfer. It was a below par tip for Spirit Elvis, but Jaguar Jack, I think Graham's a bit confident that he can lead, and if his fella does lead, he could defend it all the way.
Unlike you, Verve hasn't got a dodgy CB. One in the Dundalk, All England Cup as well. Derby second, of course.
This dog doesn't run in one-off opens. He's a competition dog. He's contested numerous finals. Yes, the draw is tricky, but he's got the class to overcome it.
He certainly, and from what we heard, everyone wants to be with Verve, and I think about even money last I saw.
Yeah, they were screaming 4 to 5. They were screaming for evens, and they got their wish. And I think the evens has been snapped up. But look, I think there's a few want to take him on. Could be a fluctuating market.
And finally, Droopy's Nadal as well for Angela Harrison. Very much on the improve. Seems weird that 2 races ago we didn't know if he stays. Well, we know now.
Yeah, well, he was the unknown quantity, really. He's always been a promising sort. I'm surprised you didn't tip this dog, because in the trainer quotes he said this dog was a bit backward. I thought, like, being like yourself, Jason, you might have been with 6.
Well, I've just seen them on parade now. As you'd expect, they all do look cool, calm and collected. And you've really got to take into account, haven't you, Tony, the gravitas of this race. And it's a complete credit to all these connections the way they're handling these dogs.
Graham will be pleased to see 4 is pulling his arms out. This is what he wanted to see. 4 is absolutely pulling him to the boxes, and he says when this dog pulls me to the boxes, he runs a very big race.
That was the clue that he gave us. Tony, it really is a final that any of them can win. Come on, final thoughts, who's going to win it?
I think 5 can hold his position, show that good second to third pace. 6 should be on the premise, he's got a good draw. I think Greenwell Jean's going to make the frame, could run a big race.
A lot of tri-cars played. I tell you what, I can't believe the crowd here is absolutely packed. They've all come up, they're all up in the terraces as well. I don't know if we can have a look at them there. And Verve wins it, or if any of them win it, it's going to bring the house absolutely down.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic atmosphere. This is when the pressure's really on. I mean, once them dogs are in the boxes, it's out of the trainer's hands. It's all down to the dogs. May the best dog win, and let's hope we see a clean run race.
Isn't it wonderful? I mean, really cosmopolitan as well. International. We could have English winner, we could have Irish winner, and of course, we could have the Scots winner.
Well, the last time there was a Scottish winner, I think you got covered in a little bit of claret, Jason, so better prepare. You've got the right clobber on tonight, though.
Incidentally, Scotchy, I know you're watching. I wish you the very best. It's a wonderful atmosphere here. We're going to go back to the studio now, back to Phil and Richard. We'll see you when it's all over.
Brilliant stuff from Jason and Tony there. Enjoying the atmosphere. Looks a cracking crowd as well. And Richard, while they're talking, there's been a little bit of gamble going on Pat Buckley's greyhound in Trap 3, Braveheart Bobby, who's been backed into 3-1 now, disputing second favouritism.
Yeah, looked well on parade, didn't he, Braveheart Bobby? And as did Droopy's Nadal, and I think the pair of them both attracted a bit of support. But Droopy's Verve for me in 5. I mean, he won a Derby trial stake at Toaster, was impressive in the 3rd round of the Derby itself, won by 7.5 lengths. Both of those runs from Trap 5.
Yeah.
His fastest ever race time at home track Newcastle, 28:12, again done from Trap 5.
So not the draw, the bad draw that maybe people have thought, maybe because we've been used to seeing him nearer the fence.
Exactly. He's 6 from 8 in the orange jacket.
Okay.
Like Kennel Mate in 6, Droopy's Nadal, who you've got to say has got a massive chance as well. They're both unbeaten through this competition.
Yep, 2 tremendous training performances on behalf of Angela Harrison and Jimmy Wright to get them through to the final. Unbeaten, the only 2 unbeaten in the competition, Droopy's Verve and Droopy's Nadal, are in 5 and 6. The gambled Irish runner Braveheart Bobby in 3. Bigger prices the others, but rule nothing out and rule everything in. It's the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final. The hare is on its way round to the boxes. And away we go, and early on here, 4 and 3 show pace, middle of the track, 6 is right there as well. As they get to the first bend, the white jacket of 3, Braveheart Bobby for Pat Buckley goes on, 3 leads by a length or so from 1 Cooling Jack who sits second, then it's 6, 4, 5 and 2, Droopy's Verve on the fence but nowhere to go. It's Braveheart Bobby with the lead, Cooling Jack sits second, and now comes Verve trying to get a run in 5. Off the last is Braveheart Bobby's won that early battle, and he's going to win the Rpgtv Scottish Derby. It's a triumph for Pat Buckley and the Irish team. Braveheart Bobby wins track to line. Let's have a look at the replay then, and what a performance this was from Braveheart Bobby, Richard. Won the early battle and he just broke their hearts.
He did. He came away absolutely in top style and held Jaguar Jack's run to the corner as he tried to get across. Cooning Jack flew into the corner as well, had nowhere to go because Braveheart Bobby was across his nose and in front. Jack Buckley said earlier on, didn't he, that if he got to the front, then they wouldn't catch him. He was spot on. Really good running behind from lots of dogs. Lots of these tried really hard. Droopy's Verve was all over the track trying to get a clear run. Never really got the run. Droopy's Nadal always there or thereabouts on the premises on the outside, but it was all about Braveheart Bobby, Pat Buckley, home to win the Rpgtv Scottish Derby and the £20,000 prize.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Just before we go back to Shortfield, just to say we're probably going to record the 9:27 at Crayford and play you that back in a moment or two. But for now, let's go back to Shortfield and soak up the atmosphere.
Here we are then, Braveheart Bobby. What a performance, Jack. You told us, and what a beauty.
Oh, I just can't believe it. I'm so happy. It just means so much to win a derby, you know.
You have, I know you've won it before, Capricorn, but you have supported this event, come back year after year after year. Had, let's be honest, some misfortune, but this fella, he's done it.
Yeah, look, that's why you keep coming back, because it's such an unbelievable event to be a part of, and just nothing can beat that feeling like I'm feeling now, you know.
Well, quite rightly, you're emotional, and he did it exactly as you told us beforehand. I tell you what, I had a bit of trouble finding you for an interview. I'm pretty glad I did.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, he's probably the most genuine dog we've ever had put a strap on, you know. He just gives and gives and gives, and we're just so grateful to Darren and his dad for giving us the opportunity to train the dog.
Jack, one important question. Does he like bagpipes?
Oh, he won't mind them.
Tony, what a performance.
Brilliant performance. I mean, Jack looks like he couldn't blow out a candle, let alone the dog. I mean, look, get him out on the boxes on the night. Brilliant performance. And once in front, it was game over, Jason. What a run. Absolutely sensational.
And then we can see that Darren McCoy, the winning owner. Look at these scenes. Honestly, you do not need an idiot like me talking when you can look at this. That's the passion for you. That's the passion. Fantastic. Brilliant. And not only that, but fashion as well. He's got his baseball cap matching the winning jacket. Oh, and look at this. The Irish flag's going to be out. The Irish flag. Sir. And as is traditional, of course, at Shortfield, we'll greet everyone. And there's Roy, of course, who won with Hot Pipe. This is a previous winner. Roy there, embracing. The legacy lives on. And Jack, Dad's here as well, Dad.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's making his way through the crowd. I think they're all coming down there now.
And more Irish flags there as Jack goes across. Tony, we said it was a race where anybody could have won it, but when Braveheart Bobby hit the front like that,
connections, look at the energy. I mean, absolute brilliant performance. As I say, look, you don't need to win the first round, you don't need to win the semi. It's getting it right on the final that matters most, and the Buckley Kennel have produced the goods when it matters most. Brilliant performance from trainer and dog.
Just to say that I hear they are approaching at Crayford. We're obviously going to stay here at Shortfield, but they're approaching at Crayford. Jack, the flags are out, the grin's out.
That's it, look, we're representing Ireland here as well, you know, so Oh, I just can't believe it.
And genuinely, what a beautiful boy.
Oh, I'd never seen a dog just as relaxed, and he's the easiest dog in the kennel to train. You know, I'm lost for words.
I've got to go to your dad, Pat. Well done, Pat.
Thanks, Jim.
Excellent.
I'm delighted because we knocked on the door here for a few years, and I said if there was ever a dog for it, I brought himself and David Easter, and there were two serious contenders. And I said, when he popped out, I said, bare mistakes now. He took a lot of beating, but he did the clock as well. He's just a real good, honest dog.
It was an amazing performance, and the way he was brought on throughout the competition.
He got his tonsils out 5 weeks ago, and it was a struggle with him, getting ready and getting fit. So, listen, it's one of those things that worked out, and we're great.
Matt, it took a good one to beat him in the first round.
It did, yeah, but listen, that's racing. And listen, we're going to Nottingham now. We hope for the best.
I wasn't even going to ask you where you were going now. It's always obvious, sir.
It's amazing. I mean, you gave him to Pat. Pat's only had him 5 weeks, and he's after winning the Scottish Derby. I was just over the moon, to be honest about it. It's a dream come true. It's a fairy tale for me and my dad here. We only have one race dog, so to win a Scottish Derby is just incredible.
Well, I tell you what, should we make our way to the presentation? Because I know the prize is winning the race itself, but the crowd, they want to see the winner. Traditional Shawfield, rapturous crowd for Braveheart Bobby. Here's a happy lady.
I'm over the moon. We just needed this. It was a rough start to the year, and everyone worked so hard in the kennel, and the hard work has paid off. So brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So.
Genuine smiles. I mean, the joy, the simple joy. Just get this. Look at this. Have you ever seen so many happy faces? Ah, sir, we spoke to you earlier.
Nice human. Yeah, jeez.
Well, we've got to make our way now to the podium. Braveheart Bobby, of course, is the star. Been wrapped in the Irish flag there. Oh, this is going to be some presentation. It really is.
Well, brilliant scenes at Shawfield there. A shame we just had a bit of a camera break up there, but hopefully we're back in a moment or two. Braveheart Bobby, well, what a winner, Richard. And now, as I mentioned, over for the English Derby as well.
Yeah. I mean, he won the Kingdom Derby, as they mentioned, at Tralee, and that's normally a good competition to win.
Certainly is. Now, the 9:27 at Crayford, I think we're going to show you that in a moment or two. Let's see how they bet. This is how they bet. Set the Limit was the even money favourite. Glassmoss Sizz, who I think would have been our selection, is a 7-4 chance. But let's see how the race unfolded. This, of course, over 714 metres. Let's go and watch it now.
And away we go. First bend, though, Set the Limit. Leads around the first couple of turns for Dave Lido, and down the back straight. Three's in behind that. Is Glassmoss SOS in behind that. Two's next is Swift Miley. Four in behind them is Go Lane Actress, and towards the back at this early stage is Galty Jensen. But up front, though, Set the Limit, the leader. Those two has a healthy lead up front at the moment. A few lengths clear of the others with a lap to go. Onto the final lap. 3 in second. 4, 6 trying to make progress out wide in behind that. 5 down the back straight we go. 1's the leader, though. Set the Limit is the clear leader, though, with 3, 4 trying to make progress. 2 and then 5. They're down towards the penultimate turns, though. It's Set the Limit that's been there all the way so far. 3 still hasn't got there. 4 is coming to join in as well, and 2 they're off the final bend, though. 1 leading with 3 closing now, but all too late. 1 wins from 3 for third.
Well, the market was spot on. Then Set the Limit, the favourite, beating Glassmoss Sizz, the second favourite, 1, 3 and 4. And there's the scenes at Shawfield. There's Clive Lawrence, our hero, our boss, passing the trophy over.
Darren McCoy, Braveheart Bobby's owner there, who has not stopped smiling since the victory. Darren, got to have a word with you. I just told you got paid double if you did the clock. No, that wasn't quite true.
I know, I understand it. To be honest, look, any final, it's not about the clock, it's about coming first if you can at all. I mean, he's been a tremendous dog since he was a pup. He does everything right. As I said, we only gave him to Pat and Jack Buckley like 5 or 6 weeks ago. Jack has done an amazing job. Pat has done an amazing job. All the family, all the Buckley family have been fierce welcoming. I've been up there every week myself because he's the only dog we have, and I'm missing him myself. And they're quite happy to make a cup of tea and let me walk him or whatever the case may be. But he's a dream of a dog to train, and as I said, it's a fairy tale for me and my dad that have had him since he was basically 12 weeks old. So to be here tonight, an unbelievable stadium, an unbelievable crowd, it's a dream come true, to be honest.
Don't worry, everyone, I'll get a word of that out of him at some stage. Unmitigated joy, though. Well done, sir.
Thank you very much, and I'll tell you this, it's a dream come true. I always said, God, give me a good dog before I die. I could probably drop dead tomorrow.
I have never seen such joy. I really haven't. Jack, I've got to come to you again. Well done.
Oh, thanks. What can I say?
And you've done a Carly Philpott doing it in the baseball cap.
Oh, that's my lucky hat, so I got to wear it.
I've got to come round to the sponsor, of course, Rpgtv. Clive Lawrence, now obviously you are the sponsor, but first and foremost you are a greyhound fan, and that was a greyhound race.
That was some race, wasn't it, Jason? Absolutely brilliant. He trapped tonight. He needs a trap. It was a tricky draw for him, but he trapped, and then it was all over. Brilliant. Good run with a runner-up. Cooning Jack really pushed him hard, but a brilliant winner of the Rpgtv Scottish Derby.
I spoke to Jimmy, he was really happy with Cooning Jack, but there's only one winner tonight, and look at this throng, a happy throng. Braveheart Bobby's got to be the final picture there. And can we have a cheer for Braveheart Bobby?
Fantastic scenes there at Shawfield, and a very worthy winner, very worthy champion. Braveheart Bobby, trained by Pat Buckley for Darren McCoy and all the team. And there's the happy scenes. Fantastic stuff to see. Right, while they sort themselves out at Shawfield, and before we get some more live action, time for us to take a quick break. See you soon. Welcome back to Rpgtv then. Fantastic night's action. Braveheart Bobby winning the big race. There's confirmation of the result. Trap Bolt at 3 winning at 3-1. Cooling Jack, big race in second at 8-1. And Droopy's Verve was third at even money, the favourite. The Crayford race we showed you the recording of. Here's the result as well. 1 beat 3 there. Even money favourite set the limit, beating Trap 3 Glassmoss Sis. And well, Trap 1 is going great guns in the challenge now. 5 clear of Trap 4, who has 3 wins, but 1 very much in the box seat now. Now, at Shawfield, of course, all these joyous scenes means that maybe we might be slightly late off for the 9:37, which is the Rpgtv Jason Barrisford Presenter Trophy. So I think the winners are going to be presented with Jason. They can take him home for the night and give him a bed to sleep. Better than the park bench for once for him. But this is an A2 graded contest. Betting will be up on your screens soon enough. There's the Betfair odds, which suggests that Trap 2 might be favourite, and there is the prices. Gloss Jacks at 2-1. 7-2 Bar brings in Traps 4, 5 and 6. 4-1 Farron Sandy 3. Outsider is Tina 0 at 7-1. Richard, I know Shawfield graded form is probably not your forte, but I'm going to ask you anyway, who's going to win this?
Well, a couple of these met last time out, and mainly Trap 2 Gartgloss Jacks and 5 Brockle Hill Hero. Gartgloss Jacks is an interesting dog because he went to the rails from 4 and then ran right off at the corner. If you go back to his 5th of April run, moved off and crowded 1. So from 2, I expect him to move off quite markedly, and at 2-1 favourite, I want to take him on. He's only a puppy, still learning where to go, and I don't think he's a railer. So I'm going to be with 5, Brockle Hill Heroes. We've got badly bumped at that corner last time out and then stayed on really well down the middle behind Droopy Shark, who we saw earlier, very, very impressive. It's a big drop in class for him here with potential crowding on the inside. I thought he could turn handy, hopefully avoid any trouble that he suffered last week there, and stays well.
Okay, thanks for that, Richard. Yeah, I thought it was a tough race to call. I think that form is probably the form to keep an eye on. I'm going to go with Gloss Jacks in Trap 2 for Pat Kennedy's Kennels, already been on the mark tonight. Lots of interest on Twitter, of course, for the winner. Tina was all over it. Sarah Kinsella there, brilliant. Braveheart Bobby, your 2019 Scottish Derby champion. And Tom Nolan says, Class Greyhound deserves to be a Derby champ. I owned his dad, Secreto. Hopefully now he'll be recognised at stud. Well, he's
Yeah.
certainly doing you no harm there, that's for sure.
Fair point. But yeah, he's won 2 derbies now. He's won the Kingdom Derby and the Rpgtv Scottish Derby.
Yeah, that's it. And from what we heard from Pat, and we've read recently anyway, but he's part of their team for Nottingham for the
I think
English
he said
Derby.
there's 5. He's got a team of 5.
Well, you can guarantee that there'll be a strong team.
Yeah,
generally is from Pat. I know he'd love to land an English derby, that's for sure.
Obviously, the dog that ran in against him in the semi-final, Droopy's Davy, will be another one that will
He'll
be
be part of the team. Right, 9:37 is an A2, and I think, Richard, this one is for you.
It is indeed. A winner from last week in 6, Hello Rog, who ran really well first time in a straight race, a flat start race rather than a handicap. But a good break here from 1 on the inside, but it's 3 and 6 going to the corner well, but 1's going to hold them at the bend. 2 moves off and causes carnage behind. I think 4 went on the floor. Let's hope he's okay. Up front though, 1, Tina Zero has escaped and she's going great guns in front from 3, Farron Sand. 6, Hello Rog, trying to make some ground on these front 2, but it's won by about 2.5 lengths as they turn for home. 3 looking to come up the inside of Farron Sand. He's coming to challenge and he's going to get there. He goes by, goes on nicely. Trap 3, Farron Sand, your winner, and I'll call a photo for second.
Yeah, 3, your winner. Looking to see they all got to the pickup okay. Very messy first bend. There's trap 4 there, Knockard Recruit, who suffered possibly the worst. But yeah, they all got there, which is great to see. And if you backed Farron Sand, you'd be delighted to see this winning performance, because it looked for a long time as if we were going to have another red jacket, because 1 skipped clear here, Tina Zero, down the far side, and had a good-looking lead, but in the end has got run over by 3, and then probably just beaten for minor honours as well by Hello Rog. But yeah, the winner's done it very well, Richard.
Yeah, it was a really good performance, wasn't it, from Farron Sand? Only the 1 previous success, that was in 10 starts, that was 2 runs ago in a handicap. Ran in an A2 last week behind Miles Away. I think that was the first race last Saturday. Has early pace, stays as well. That was a really good performance, and after the first bend, crowd in both 5 and 6 have run reasonably well as well.
Yep, I may be wrong for places. It's definitely a photo. I think Richard was right there. But noted about the winner, Farron Sand. And there is a result. 1 did hang on for second. Tina Zero, 3, 1 and 6 is how they finished there. So that was the great action at Shawfield. More open race action, though, coming away from Crayford. And this is Heat 3 of the Ladbrokes.com Crayford Vars. A red-hot favourite in trap 3 here, Droopy's Gleeson for Dean Charles. And we can give you a bit of a clue as to why he's so short, the son of Droopy's Nidge. This was last time out winning, and winning by a long way over this trip.
Yeah, from trap 4 here, and with a vacant trap 3 inside him, he had loads of room to go to the corner, and he went there in fine style. And 3, 4 lengths clear, quickened soon, 5, 6, 7 clear, with a lap to go, and race was already over for Droopy's Gleeson. Ends up winning by 8 3/4 lengths here at 1-2, and he'll be bidding to do something very similar tonight. I think it's all about the run to the corner for him if he can get away. There was trap 4 there, trap 3 tonight. Trap 3's not a problem, actually. He's been in it 4 times and he's won twice.
Yeah, he's banging form with Droopy's Gleeson. 5 wins from his last 7 starts. He's a firm odds-on favourite. I don't think I'd want to take him on watching that.
No, if he leads, he wins for me.
Yep, he's certainly a greyhound going in the right direction for Dean Charles. Is Droopy's Gleeson as we go across the track and watch the runners on parade. There they are. Snowden Archie leading the parade. Is a 10-1 chance. Doesn't seem to matter tonight what prices the red jackets are. They all seem to be getting there or thereabouts.
Exactly right. It's both meetings as well. There's a definite, and despite all the wind and rain that we've had, certainly in the southeast here, Crayford, as we saw earlier on, was wet and the hoods were up, and no, it's just the way it's all worked out tonight.
Yep, runners going through on parade. There is Antigua Flash for Mark Wallace.
I've got 2 emails very quickly on similar themes.
Okay.
One from Katrina, and she says, Braveheart Bobby, Scottish Derby winner. At what point does someone give Braveheart Bobby a drink? He actually looked into the cup at one point. No drink, bless him, she says. And then Mickey Douglas also says, hi Phil and Richard, good race the Derby final. I know the track is a bit dilapidated and needs restoring, but surely they must have water there. So why didn't they give the dog a drink after winning all the money? Very disappointing for him, says Mickey.
Yeah, well, we weren't there for the whole duration, so we don't know. There may well have been a bowl of water behind the podium. Hopefully there would have been. I'm sure common sense would have prevailed, and the dog will be drinking water while they'll be drinking champagne, the rest of the crew. But yeah, thanks for your emails, and hope you enjoyed the Scottish Derby. I mean, it was a thriller of a race, and Braveheart Bobby, he looks... been watching how he ran tonight, Richard. We've seen him running on from off the pace in the semis. He's done it from the front tonight. 500 metres at Nottingham. Looks like it won't be a problem, would it?
Not a problem for me. I think Nottingham will suit him as well. He's versatile as regards draws. You know, he's happy to, as you say, to bang out a make-all, and then he can choose his own line. But as you saw him in the semi-final, he flew down the back straight, tried to go around the inside at the third corner.
Yeah.
You know, he's not necessarily, you know, a one-trick pony.
No, definitely not. Well done to Pat Buckley there, and all connected with Braveheart Bobby. £20,000 for the winner of the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final.
I tipped him in the semi-finals last week. He was 5-1 on the early prices, and he was runner-up, and I deserted him tonight.
You've left him alone tonight, and he's run like a champion and proved a worthy winner. It's so often the way. And I think, yeah, we've said it, but kudos to the runner-up, Cooning Jack, who's run a big race for Jimmy Fenwick.
He did. He ran a fantastic
without never
race.
Quite getting to the leader, who was, you know, just not for catching tonight.
Yeah, he held all the ace cards, didn't he, Braveheart Bobby? And yeah, as well as Cooning Jack run, he could not just catch the Bobby.
Yeah, and Droopy's Verve, I think, you know, he's finished on top of him in the end, doesn't he? He's done everything you'd expect without being able to beat that draw tonight.
He didn't start, and they all dashed to the corner, and while they were all dashing to the corner, he tried to switch to the inside and look for a gap there, but there wasn't one coming.
Still a player at Nottingham, though, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. He's a player in any competition he ever runs in.
Right, they're going in at Crayford. We are both with the favourite here. No points for originality, but Droopy's Gleeson has just been in imperious form for Dean Childs. Can he deliver for odds-on backers? Sadie Nash, of course, got some good form in the locker at Crayford as well. Mark Wallace's season campaign. They are now all in. Let's go to the track and join Robin on the mic.
Now, Podium Traps of race 9. Get ready to choose your selections. Here at the traps. And away we go. 4, 5 and 6 are all fast away from 1, 3 and 2. Up front though, it's neck and neck still. 4 maybe just gone on now. Crossfield Vince is the leader though. With 6 around the outside is Sally Nash. 5 making progress. Antigo Flash towards the inside. They're clear 1 behind. That is Snowden Archie. Droopy's Gleeson is towards the back at the moment though. But 4 leading from 5 and 6 though. With 1 making progress in midfield and 2. 5 has charged up the inside. Antigo Flash has got the lead. And now well with 6 in behind it and 4. 1's in behind it and 2. 5's got the lead. There was 6 battling back. 4, 1 the inside. 5 doing enough in front to win. 5 wins from 6.
Well, Antigua Flash leads home kennelmate Sadie Nash. It's a Mark Wallace forecast, but sorry to see Droopy's Gleeson out the back there, and we hope it's nothing too serious, but he has trailed home after missing the break and having a troubled run. But this was a good run for a good race for Team Wallace here, Richard.
It was, yeah. We hope all is well with Droopy's Gleeson, and if it's not, then we hope for a speedy recovery. But Crossfield Vince showed plenty of pace. 5 got all squeezed out all over the place, the second bend, Antigua Flash. And at this point, I thought Celine Ash was going to go on and take the race by the scruff of the neck, but could never quite get round Crossfield Vince. And it was Antigua Flash who cleverly switched to the inside, down the back straight, nice clean run, straight through. Eventually, Celine Ash does get past Crossfield Vince again after another bump there at the 5th bend. And I think if we're going forward into the semi-finals, we'll be looking for a much better run from Celine Ash, who's had a really troubled run, but still managed to finish second.
Yep, there is the freeze. 5, 6, 4 and 1 all will qualify at Crayford. But that last race at Shawfield, of course, was the Rpgtv Jason Barrisford Presenter Trophy. And there is our man presenting the Trophy 2 winning connections, Farron Sand, delivering for the McRae Kennel there. Apologies, I don't know the trainer's Christian name, but well done to you nonetheless. Your greyhound has run an absolute corker there. to win race 9 on the card. And you've had the pleasure of meeting Jason as well. There's always a silver lining, or is it the flip side? I don't know. One of the two. But yeah, great stuff. Doing a good job tonight is Jason and Tony and the team up at Shawfield. Crayford will be Shawfield will be our next port of call. But I think we've got a chance to maybe catch up one or two emails and tweets. Nick Brereton's been on. He says, anti-post Braveheart Bobby, don't need to say any more. Could the forthcoming English Derby be the best ever? It's certainly looking that way, isn't it, in terms of the quality? Big trial session at Nottingham on Monday as well, coming up.
Yep, there was a few tonight as well, I believe, wasn't there?
Yeah, few trials.
Couple of
we heard actually
trials.
Sporting Dave bombed round for Seamus Carhill this evening, but I haven't seen all the trial results yet. But I think Graham Holland's over on Monday. Wildcats trialling Monday, and Magical Bow for Kevin Hutton. So yeah, a big trial session at the track coming up. It is shaping up to be a red-hot competition, that's for sure. But for now, it's Scottish Derby final night, and we're back at Shawfield. And you can see the runners coming out on parade. Well, we've had the Jason Barrisford race. This is the Rpgtv Tony Bullen Sidekick Trophy. He's getting all the names tonight, is Tony. But having said that, he did mention Nick Jason's Mars bar earlier, so it's not all bad. Betting coming up, there's Toolmaker Sir, who is trained by Willie Hislop's already a winner on the card tonight. He's a 4-1 chance, 5-2 Jaguar Zidane and Sunset Duke, 3-1 East Park Tara, 5-1 the other pair, Debs Fry and Toolmaker Higgy. Richard, what do you make of this?
Yeah, I've got big respect for trap 3 here, Jaguar Zidane, a really nice puppy for Graham Rankin. 3 wins from 9 races and 2 seconds as well. But I just wondered, they were all handicaps obviously, this is a flat start, and I just wondered how we would get on being a puppy. So not sure about the start for Jaguar Zidane, and I'm going to take him on regrettably, I think, or with a heavy heart anyway, because I do think he's a really nice dog. As did Graham Rankin, gave him a good mention earlier, didn't he? Said he was a nice puppy as well. But I liked Toolmaker Sir here in trap 1 for Willie Hislop. Again, already a winner on the card as well. He is a trap 1 dog for me. He's had 10 flat start graded races. He's been in red 9 times. 7 of those were an A1 company. This is an A3. It's got to be worth supporting in red in an A3.
Well, hats off to you for doing your homework there, Richard, in terms of the stats. I'm with him, but with less thought process than you, I just thought I quite like the fact that he'd had a sprint trial. I know he's been off, but he's been running well in handicaps. But that sprint trial might just sharpen him up with a switch of traps as well. And like you, I thought the inside could be a good draw for him here. So we're both on board with Toolmaker Sir, who's a 4-1 chance.
Yeah, I was looking at 6 here, Sunset Duke, as potential my lay of the day on the outside. No seeds here, all rail seeds, and some middle to wide comments on the card. 5 out of 18, not a bad strike rate, but well beaten in his last A3, and I think he definitely looks worth taking on. So,
is he going to be your lay?
Yeah, I'd like to lay Sunset Duke in trap 6 here.
Okay. Richard is laying Sunset Duke. The punters, they sort of agree in a lopsided way, because they seem to be steaming into the 3 here. Jaguar Zidane, who is a 6-4 chance now. Graham Rankin's greyhound, who, as Richard mentioned, when Graham was interviewed earlier by Jason, he told us not to back his run over the 6 bends. Was it the Elvis? Was it the Elvis dog, I think?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, he said he didn't really fancy him. He won, but he did fancy this one. So if he didn't fancy that and it won, then surely this is a good thing.
He did put a caveat in and said that if he went round clean, he would have a massive chance of winning. He did. Got loads of emails coming through after the big race. Obviously, people getting involved with the show now. Paul Wood's been on, says, "Hi guys, great show as ever. Have we got a banker in the later races, please? You can give Dave Gilbert a word and say how well he did in the snooker semi-final. He lost 17-16 to John Higgins.
Oh,
he did himself proud and put Tamworth on the map. So well done, Dave," says Paul Wood. Thanks, Paul. Have we got a good thing? I fancy Dinner Omnia in the next at Crayford, drawn one for Jimmy Reynolds. I thought ran really well last week.
Okay, well that can suffice. I haven't got anything I fancy strongly now, unfortunately, but we both like the one here, if that helps, and so do the punters now, because Toolmaker Sir has halved in price, 4s into 2s for Willie Hislop. Still favourite just is Jaguar Sedan in 3. Easing out Sunset Duke to 3-1 chance. And
stop there, please.
Yeah, Richard's happy. Yeah, he'll say that'll do. No bigger, please, for Sunset Duke, who is the lay this evening at the last couple of games. Joint favourites now, 1 and 3, 2-1 each, the 2. As the loading up process, I think, is just about done. Waiting for the start. Here he comes. Checks them over. Yep. Signal given. Harry's on its way round to the boxes. Good luck. Wave from the crowd there. Nice to see you.
I'm waving back.
Good luck, because we're off and racing, and well, 1 gets a lovely picture on the fence, but 4, East Park Tara has the best of the break and leads round. 4 leads, trouble at the back for 6 and 5, and it's a blackjack in 4. East Park Tara is a couple clear from 1. Toolmaker Sir, who's punted on course and sits second, but nowhere to go, and shuffles back as East Park Tara kicks going out in front, kicks on, goes further clear. Off the last we go. 4 swings wide on the track. 1's going to try and come with another challenge, but won't get anywhere near the leader. 4 wins and wins well in the end. Black Jacket leads them home in race 10. Closer for places, but no doubt about your winner, which is East Park Tara. And, well, Lay beaten and had a rough ride, Richard, but yeah, probably beaten out the boxes.
Yeah, as you say, got bumped out of a contention at the first bend as well, because once 4 went round in front, that was always going to win. Noted running really well last week in a handicap behind Touring Trixie, staying on really nicely there, keeping the middle course last week. So going round in front was massive runner. Toolmaker Sir, good pace, but could never catch the leader. And watch for the flying finish from Trap 2. Deb's Flyer comes from out of the clouds to, I think, actually get second in the end.
Could well have done, yeah. It's
very fast and late.
It was a blur of blue, wasn't it, Trap 2? Had to swing wide round past Greyhounds to try and get some racing room, and then Motors to the line. The winner has gone, absolutely flown. There is the result. Well, 4, 1 and 2 is how they finished. East Park Tara winning. Now, before we go for a break, I think it's time to just pop back to Shawfield and see who Jason's found now.
It really has been a brilliant atmosphere here tonight, and it's always a brilliant atmosphere when you got the Edinburgh Mafia and Belly Dancer for later. Now let me introduce yourself.
Tony.
Kiki.
Uncle Bob.
Rob.
Mick.
There you go, the Edinburgh. Mick, we know you best of all, of course.
Sometimes. I occasionally email in.
The only problem for you boys, I'm afraid you've got a traitor in your mix.
He's the Edinburgh Mafia mob. Who are they? Who are they?
Welcome back to Rpgtv, where we saw Jason present a trophy. This is his sidekick, Tony Bullen. The Rpgtv Tony Bullen sidekick trophy goes to connections of East Park Tara, who has run a really good race off the front tonight. Richard, you mentioned, we were just chatting, you spotted staying on in defeat last time out and has led tonight, so not for catching.
No, not for catching. Once she went round in front, yeah, I thought she ran on quite well last week behind Touring Trixie, and it just shows you the benefit of watching the show week on week or watching the videos back.
Yeah, she's delivered in style there. Now, Crayford, the 10:02 is the Labrooks Maybank Holiday Maiden Stakes. This is a maiden open over 540 metres. Now we've got a clue we can show you. We're going to show you Jim Reynolds' greyhound in 5 here, Dance Matter, who last time out showed up very well over 540. Did a lot of the early running from Trap 4 here, eventually finishing second to Woodmancote Anna.
Yeah, this was the final of a maiden competition last week, and Woodmancote Anna comes flying late and fast to catch Dance Matter. Had enough lead to to have considered itself the winner with a lap to go, but as you can see, trap 2, Wooden Coat Anna, weeds her way through the field and starts to close very, very rapidly going into the second last bend. Goes on to win by a length and a quarter. It's a good run from Dance Matter, full of early pace. Will need to do the same again, but must be susceptible to a finisher.
Yeah, that was Dance Matter finishing second last week. Now, you mentioned a moment ago in response to our email that you like the one here, Dinner Ammonia.
I do, yes. Been competing at a higher level. If you look at the 6:30 Monmore run, ran third behind Brigadier Bullet, no less. And has been keeping good company both at Central Park and at Romford, and has threatened a couple of times to come and win a race of this nature over 575 Romford as well, and 540 here. Has won graded over the trip, hasn't won since the 6th of December, that's 11 races ago, but this represents a real drop in class and a massive opportunity for me for Dinner Ammonia, and pick up potential leader Dance Matter, the kennel mate coming home.
Yep, Jim Reynolds trains traps 1 and 5, 7 and 4 joint favourites. It's now 7-2. Trap 2, Ballymoney Zuma for Julie Luckhurst. The kennel mates for the Luckhurst kennel, Gravel Trap Leon is 6-1 out from 4s, 8-1 Jacobs 5. I wanted to make a case for the 3 just on recent graded form. I didn't think there was anything stand out. I hear what you say about 1 in terms of the drop in class, but certainly in terms of Crayford form, Gravel Trap Leon has got a bit of a squeak on best runs and could be value at 6-1, certainly one to throw in to your forecast as well. So runners head behind the boxes for this 10:02.
Time for a couple of quick emails before they go in here at Crayford. Derek Reynolds, I've noticed over the last few weeks on a Saturday night that the Trap Challenge seems to end up in a dead heat. Is that going to be the case tonight? Well, I don't think so. I think Trap 1's sailing away.
4 clear at the moment. There's enough races just for, I think, 4 to dead heat.
Troy from Alton Broads said, yay, a double landed. Braveheart Bobby and then Antigua Flash. Trapping them in tonight. Keep them coming. Great coverage, guys.
Nice prices as well.
Yeah,
nice double that would be. As the Greyhounds are behind the boxes for this 10:02. They are starting to load now. Dinner Ammonia, Richard's fancy in Trap 1. I think still joint favourite with the kennelmate Dance Matter in 5. I've gone with a 3 here at a bit of a price, but whatever you've done at home, I hope it goes well for you. We'll find out exactly what's about to happen then for this maiden 540 Open. Of course, the signal is given by the starter. Let's go to the track and join Robin Carter.
And up on the traps of race 10, get ready to your selections. Hail the traps. And off we go. 5 leads early on from 3 to the inside, 1 for the back marker. 5 out in front though. Dance Matter for Jim Reynolds is leading a bit of scrimmaging in midfield. It's 1 in behind that again, 2 in behind that, 4. 3's in behind that with a lap to go. Dance Matter sets the pace up front with Jim Reynolds though and has a few lengths advantage of the others though at the moment. Dinner Ammonia is into second, but also for Jim Reynolds. 2's in behind that is Ballymoney Zumba. 3's in behind that and 4. They round the penultimate turns though. 5 the leader, 1 is trying to close. They pull clear of the rest so as they head off the final bend. 5 the leader, 1 is closing but maybe too late. 5 maybe just did enough.
Well, 1 for the VT team over the studio here. 5 beating 1, the Jim Reynolds kennel first and second. Good early pace from Dance Matter, and well, we'll watch the race unfold and obviously keep our eye on what happened out the 5th turn, Richard, with the 1.
Yeah, a fantastic start from Dance Matter, and yeah, this is exactly what he needed to do, as he did last week, and he did it. So fair play to him. Dinner Ammonia in 1 just got squeezed out going into the bend, and then 2 ran right off at the bend, let 1 through, and in pursuit. But Dance Matter with a lap to go, 5, 6 lengths clear. And yeah, the race was on, as you said in commentary, Phil. We were talking to each other saying, he said, all races on now. It looked like being very close, didn't it? And as you said about this 5th bend,
she just sort of slipped or checked coming out this 5th turn here. 1, if you watch her here, or him, I should say, just there, just loses stride for a moment, and that might well have cost him the race.
It might well have done because he hasn't been beat far, and I don't know, what's he been beat? Half a length, 3/4 in the end. Very fast closing and straight by and on after the line. So keep your eyes on Dinner Ammonia. He will win a maiden very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. That was Jim Reynolds 1-2. at Crayford. Now we're going to go back to Shawfield and Jason. This is something you recorded earlier.
Now, I'm very pleased to say I'm here with a very, very special lady who emailed into the show, Janice from West Scotland Greyhound Trust. And Janice, you do so much good work and it looks absolutely buzzing here.
Thank you. It's busy. We've been doing it the last 3 weeks and we've raised over £900 so far.
So that really is fantastic. And hopefully, obviously, tonight should be the best of them all.
Yeah, hopefully. Get more dogs into homes.
So tell us what you're doing.
We're doing a tombola, so it's 3 tickets for £1, and if the ending a 0 or a 5, that's a winner. We're also doing Name the Greyhound, so it's a scratch card, like a football card, but scratch card for greyhound names. So if anybody wants a shot, they can feel free.
Well, we'll have some tombola tickets if that's all right, £5 worth. And Tony, I'll bring Tony in.
This Name the Greyhound looks interesting. Oh, can I have £2 on lagging behind? Because that's what he's doing in the naps table.
Thank you very much, Tony. So how many of these do we get?
You have 15.
15. That's about 15, and they are going back in there because we do not deserve to win anything. It's superstars like Janice who deserve to win everything.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Great stuff. Yeah, Janice and her team doing a sterling job. It looks like they were busy as well, which is great. Hopefully they raised a nice few pounds tonight, Richard.
And raise some awareness about how good they are at home and what great pets they make.
Absolutely right, absolutely right. The runners parading at Shawfield for a race 11. This is the Rpgtv Thank You Shawfield Trophy over the 4 races. It's a handicap, so we're back in familiar territory for the locals. Maybe not so much so for us here in the studio. I'm going to go. We should remind. I know people have been watching Shawfield the last few weeks, but obviously it's a flip round at Shawfield. The back marker, the scratch runner, runs out at 1. Obviously, we're used to seeing it in 6 at other tracks, but I'm going to go with the one off the front here, Wee Nelly, in trap 6 for me, who's got a good early pace and won on the level last time out, which would have done her no harm at all. So 6 for me. There's a 5-2 chance. 4 is your favourite at 9-4. 3-1 Turi Trixie. 7-2 the top. Toolmaker Smooth, who's the back marker. 4-1 Dandy Sue and 6-1 Toolmaker Flight. Anything catch your eye here, Richard?
Well, Turi Trixie's form's obviously been franked by East Park Tara, who just came out and won.
Yep.
However, I did think that Turi Trixie has been reasonably harshly treated in this handicap compared to last week, having won back-to-back handicaps. No surprise really there. I'm going against one of my own thoughts here because I circled one thing with Toolmaker Smooth in 1. He's KO'd last time, recorded no time and no trial back.
Yeah.
Not something I like to see. I'd like to see them at least prove themselves. Everyone, just that with a shape of a sprint trial or something. So just to prove that he's okay. He obviously is. I like his makeup here. He'll close on the leaders down from halfway, and I think he'll actually get there quite quickly.
So Toolmaker Smooth, who runs off the back of the handicap in 1, is Richard's selection. Wee Nelly off the front for me in trap 6. So we're going different ends of the spectrum. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, David Munro's been in touch. This great show, as always. Well done to Rpgtv for sponsoring this great competition. Where would our sport be without you? On a lighter note, in the build-up to the final, I had a laugh when Tony's joke to Jason about being backward went completely over his head, bless him. Regards from Dave. Last race at Shawfield. Foreman and Heyman family are all on number 2 in the lucky last at Shawfield. Please could you also tell us why trap 5 was in a yellow jacket in the 9:53 race at Shawfield? Great night's racing so far. Lots of love for Rpgtv.
Well, I didn't spot the yellow jacket, but it's probably just an orange one that's been washed once too many times, more than likely.
And Colin Cheetah's been back on. Hi, Colin. Says, great programme on What a Scottish Derby. I was on the second, and we've now got 2 handicaps coming up from Shawfield. In the first, Toolmaker Smooth can reap the rewards of a strong finish, with young Trixie losing out to the one dog for the forecast. And in the lucky last, B with Go, Sky, Go. He can deliver the goods she can deliver the goods from trap 4. It's a very good time and can make the coffin box, as it's called, a rewarding one.
Who's that from, the last one?
Colin Cheetah.
Thank you, Colin. Well, you certainly on board with this one here as well.
Yeah. Time for another one?
Yeah, go on. Go
Nick
for it.
Gill's been on. Hi, Nick. Says, very pleased with the performance of Antigua Flash tonight and another great performance by Mark Wallace. Big night for our team on Monday. Fire goes to Yarmouth. Poet goes to Nottingham. Mark is getting the best of our team with Romeo only 1.5 lengths off the Hove track record recently. Best wishes from Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, we wish you well with your greyhounds. He really enjoys his sport. Does Nick and Amanda as well. His wife, and we look forward to seeing his greyhounds gracing the Derby. That's for sure. And we're looking forward to this handicap at Shorefield, which is race 11 of 12. This one's over to you, Richard.
It is indeed, yeah. Your selection, Wee Nelly, bidding for a hat-trick. Touring Trixie in 3, bidding for a hat-trick. I wonder if either can land it. Drift, uneasy favourite, and then support for Miss Ellie Lass in 4. So, an interesting betting market. Let's see if it's going to be an interesting handicap. Race 11, 10-10 at Shorefield, and away they go. And 6 manages to hold 5 to the corner. 3 shows good pace on the outside of 4, but can't get round that rival. And 4 runs into 5 and drops back. So down the back straight. 6, a couple of lengths clear. 5, 3, 4, and then 1 making tremendous progress down the back. Has he got a gap at the third bend? We'll find out. 6 being challenged now by 3 and 1. 1 coming between the pair. Takes it up as they come to the last bend. 1, Toolmaker Smooth, starting to hit the front. Oh, collides with 6 on the run in, but still just in front. 1 from 6 and 5 if we can finish. 1 your winner. A photo for second.
Well, what a great race. A real thrill of a handicap. And in terms of the result, it's gone the way of Toolmaker Smooth. We may have got a studio forecast out of it, but had some ground to make up at the start. As you can see, out the back door is the winner, Toolmaker Smooth, but comes through. Down the back straight was going 2 for 1. Toolmaker Smooth really got going down here. And you can see, I thought 6's run was coming to an end here. That she's done well to last as long as she did, but yeah, one's just siving through the field.
Yeah, she was getting challenged from all angles, wasn't she? 5 and 3 very close to her. 1 barging through the middle. 4 was there or thereabouts as well. There's only 2 that wasn't really at the races as they came to the last corner, and even off the bump there on the run-in field, you could see with 6 wasn't going away. She's tried her heart out.
Gutsy little thing, but the winner was strong and powerful and has come through to deliver in the style of a good handicap back marker. Toolmaker Smooth will confirm that full result after this break. Welcome back to Rpgtv on a Saturday night, a special Saturday night as well. Rpgtv Scottish Derby final night. Braveheart Bobby doing the business for Pat Buckley and his team up at Shorefield. But the last race there was a victory for Trap 1, and I think we just saw the result coming through on your screens. But that does mean that Trap 1 is away and gone in the Trap Challenge, not for catching. There we go. 1 beat 5 and 6 in the end. 4-1 the winner. Good tip from Richard Hartness here in the studio. Now, as I mentioned, the Trap Challenge I think is dead in the water. 1's 5 clear with what we've got about 3 races to go. So there you go. You get paid on the red tonight. Trap Challenge done and dusted. No dead heats this evening. Now, we've got a dead heat here. We've got a hurdle race coming up. The Ladbrokes Maybank Holiday Hurdle, an open race. Not surprised to see it's dominated by local runners because, of course, Craven one of the tracks that still maintains a good hurdle strength. And one of those, Lottie's Rocket, is a very firm favourite here in Trap 1. We can show you him in action. This is winding the clock back to 13th of April when winning form on this occasion was a 4-7 favourite in H1 grade, Richard, and winning from Trap 2.
Yeah, as you can see, just the 4 runners, and 3 is Dirtbird Rosie, and 6 is Fat Larry. But Lottie's Rocket gave him a start and a beating. He fell out and flew through to take it up at the 3rd corner. That was his 2nd consecutive H1 win on the spin. So going for a hurdles hat-trick. In between times, he's been running over the flat over 5:40. So strong runner, has run well behind Swift Casey and Droopy's Gleeson in 2 decent races. Most recently, back into hurdles company with a lovely draw on the inside. Obvious selection. Not the greatest of price, but an obvious selection.
We're going with them, yeah. Even money favourite now, Lottie's Rocket. I'm going to take him on, but only because I'm a bit of a fan of Shane Boyd Bowie in 5. He's could be a bit of value for me. Out to 7 to 1. I would probably back the 5 and do the 1 and 5 cast as a saver, but I'm hoping he can reproduce his recent trial, which was decent enough. Time for another email.
I have got an email from Ben Green, who's disagreeing with both of us, Phil.
Okay.
He says, interesting bet tonight. Rather than that, he's going to put up trap 4, Dirtbird Rosie in the 10.19. Crayford, possibly the best H1 seen for a while. Interesting bet as well is trap 2, Drive on Junior, in the last at Crayford. There's never won at Crayford, none from 10, but this dog has a big run in him, and it's a 4-dog race now, and that will help him. So he says 4 to 1, that's lovely. Good luck, Ben.
Well, I don't know what the going was at, thanks for that, Ben. Yeah, I should say that first of all, but well, the going is at Shawfield tonight, but and I'm sure a lot of you at home would already have looked it up, but Braveheart Bobby's time of 28.88 off a 3.69 sectional.
That's not far off the clock, is it?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure what the clock is. We'll check that, but that is some run and explains, well, not only does it explain why he won, but also underlines how well the Cooney Jack has run for Jimmy Fennick, who's must have found chunks of time. It's got to be a little bit quick, you'd imagine, up there on that evidence, but what a run. And what a great training performance from the Buckley team to produce their dog to perfection when it matters most in the final.
Absolutely.
That's an absolute aeroplane run. Buick's clock is 28.50. Well, 28.55. That's just a reminder of how good he was.
Absolutely. What a dog.
Now, Lottie's Rocket is 5 to 4, drifting out slightly. Was 4 to 5. Bit of support for the 3. Emily's Esky. Our emailer, was it Ben? Dirtbird Rosie's a 5 to 2 chance, second favourite. Chain by Boy, one I had a bit of a squeak for is at 7s, but 14 on Betfair. Well, best of luck to you. This is hurdle action over the 380 metres. Our last open race of the evening. Runners all in the traps. Starter just checking them over. Could be in disguise. Let's go to the track and join Robin Carter for the call.
Project Traps of race 11, get ready to choose your selections, and away we go. 6 first away from 3, it's 4-1 to the inside, and 5 though, 6 leads at the moment though. It's Fat Larry that's out in front with 3 in chase. The second is Eminos Esky, 1's in behind that is Lottie's Rocket. They're clear 4 in behind it is Dirtbird Rosie, 2's in behind it and 5 around the penultimate turns though. 6 to 1 to Casso with 3 trying to close, 1's in behind it and 4 they're off the final bend. 6 leads, comes to the last, goes through but wins. 6 beating 3, 1/3.
Well, there you go. Fat Larry, who wasn't on the radar of most of us, beaten by Dirtbird Rosie last time out. A couple of defeats to Lottie's Rocket prior to that, but has turned the table on them all tonight for Julie Luckhurst around the outside. And it was all about the start, really, Richard. A magnificent leap at the first flight as well for Fat Larry and put himself in pole position.
He did. He's done it before. A couple of runs ago, he bolted out in front. He was brilliant over the first 2 hurdles, as you said, but has been caught on both of those occasions. Well, on the last 2 occasions where he's gone round in front, once by Swift Aspelos and the other time by Lottie's Rocket. But Lottie's Rocket in 1 could never get to Fat Larry tonight, and Emil's Esky in 3 tried very hard as well. Neither could do so, and Julie Luckhurst has a very good winner in Fat Larry.
Yep, Fat Larry powers home there on the outside to win. Stripes has it, 6, 3 and 1. Looks like the order home. We'll confirm that all in a moment or two. But now, for the final time this evening, let's go back to Shawfield and join Jason.
Well, it really has been a wonderful night here at Shawfield, the Rpgtv Scottish Derby. Braveheart Bobby, wonderful, exhilarating winner. And now here I am with Mr. Shawfield himself, Billy King. Billy, what a night.
Wonderful. The one that I didn't fancy, the favourite, they couldn't stop them. I thought the price was 1 to late evens, and I was right enough. And the winner, I'm delighted to pay it. I got my money back for the last 2 meetings so I can go home and get my dinner tonight.
Billy, I tell you what, Kanye West wouldn't mind being a fiver behind you.
No, 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 no. It's my living, so I've got to win.
But one word about, forgetting the money side, the crowd tonight.
The crowd's fantastic. The money was unbelievable. Put it back in the 20 years it was that good. That's how long it is since there's been so much money in the track. Normally there's not that much, but tonight was excelled itself. They went into their socks tonight and got the money out and gambled it.
You've got that grin on your face, but it does show you're keeping greyhound racing alive in Scotland, and it's going to flourish for a long, long time.
I hope so. I hope so. That's what it needs. The support of the racing post and everybody else bringing the dogs, and we'll survive.
Billy, fantastic. So just one final question on this very, very special night. Can I have a credit account?
No, cash on the table only. You might die.
Cheers, Billy.
Okay. Thanks a million. Bye.
He's a brave man, is Jason, asking all the hard questions there. It's good to see Billy King. He doesn't seem to have changed in all the years that I've been watching the Scottish Derby, and obviously Shawfield is his track. It's his big night, and it sounds like he's had a good night as well.
Yeah, I hope he has, and fair play to Billy for keeping the only track in Scotland alive. And it's always great to see so many people in the ring for the big nights. They do love it, don't they, Phil?
They do. The atmosphere is great, and yeah, they're very generous as well in terms of the winners. Whoever won that race tonight would have been afforded a great welcome, and the Irish team certainly were there. There's no sour grapes. They just enjoy watching top class racing and good dogs like Braveheart Bobby and all the others in that final tonight. So cracking stuff, and we've got one more race to come from Shawfield. So can we sign off with a winner? Richard, you were on form in the last race with Toolmaker Smooth. Who do you like the look of in this handicap?
Well, it was more a case of who I didn't like the look of, and it was a process of elimination. It was interesting to hear Graham Rankin earlier on when he was talking about Bluebell Hannah, saying that this is going to be her last race at Shawfield, and she's off to Newcastle because he doesn't think that Shawfield is suited to her. 4-1 into 5-2.
Yeah, the money's come for her. Well, so far, Graham he gave us one that couldn't win and it won, and one that should win and he got beat. So I'm glad he didn't give us a tip on this one, because you can make your own opinion now.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave her alone. Make Mark, none from 8 so far, another puppy. Go Sky Going 4, mentioned by one of our emailers. It's got a chance from the Kennedy Kennel that have already been involved. Toolmaker Sonic in 2, I thought looked to have a lot to do with only 2 metres. Lemon Franco on top, definitely got a chance on the inside. But it is 3, Clough-Taney Act, that caught my eye. Another puppy, August 17, 7 runs, 2 wins, 2 seconds. In good form at the moment, won 2 of its last 4, and I thought might just be a step ahead of the handicapper.
Okay, so trap 3 for Richard is the selection here. That's Clough-Taney Act. In what's a very open betting heat, I'm going to go with the other greyhound you gave a squeak to, Lemon Franco. For me, off the back of the handicap, albeit a middle to wide run, it might be suited by being out the back to get round the outside and get a run, but we shall see in a moment or two. Time for another email.
Yeah, this is Troy's been back on. Mixed pickings tonight, but he's been on trap twice, and a reverse forecast steaming in as well, and Braveheart Bobby. So, well, good night, Troy, by the sounds of it. Glad you enjoyed the racing, as we have as well.
Yep, been a cracking night, that's for sure. And of course, as the Scottish Derby finishes, interest continues and builds up for the English Derby at its new venue, Nottingham, and it's shaping to be an absolute corker. Of course, big trials on Monday, racing on Monday night, and the actual competition closes on Monday week, albeit I think about 10 in the evening, so nothing will be sorted out on that day, but certainly that's the time that the entries have to be in by at Nottingham. I suppose at the close of their meeting on that Monday night will be the cut-off at 10 o'clock for the entries. So then we'll know. I think the next day will be a chance to go through the seedings, and then we'll start getting an idea of how many runners and who's in the hat. Of course, Nottingham making quick decisions this year and firm decisions about various things, including the number of entries. It's capped at 192, which will allow for 96 to go through to the next round.
I was just looking at the recent winners of the Scottish Derby, and you have to go back to the 90s to find the dogs that won the Scottish Derby on the way to winning the English Derby. Some picture 97 and Chart King in 99.
Chart King, yeah, wow. Big names, Some Picture, what an absolute machine. He was probably the closest to doing the Triple Crown, wasn't he, in recent years? Won the Scottish and the English and made I think it was the final of the Irish, but under a cloud. Brilliant performer for Charlie This. So runners all in then for race 12. Last race of the night on the card at Shawfield. Here comes the bunny for this handicap. That's it, away we go. Well, 6 off the front here is Bluebell Hannah. Leads to the corner from 5 in close pursuit, who actually runs in the back of 6. Finds trouble, Make Mark, but still 6 seconds. A 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. They were in handicap order, they're not anymore because 5's hit the front. 3's come with a run, Cloughtaniac. There's or 1 trying to get into the action as well, Lemon Franco. A bit of crowding in behind to see Make Mark go on again. Cloughtaniac's coming back for another go, but the orange jacket of 5 may have just stolen this. And as we go to the line, it is 5 all out, but I think going to hold on. 5 from 3 and 1. Make Mark opens the account then at the 9th time of asking. Greyhound in the orange jacket here, and it's just one of those races, Richard, where lots came with chances, but they couldn't find the way through.
Yeah, it's the correct way for a handicap to unravel, isn't it? That eventually everything gets a chance. I mean, 5 actually, nearly went on the floor at the first bend when he ran into the back of 6. But he's done well to straighten himself up, take it up at the halfway stage. As you said, 4's there on the outside trying to make ground. 3's making ground on the inside. 2's looking for a run in behind. 1's looking for a run in behind that. Bit of crowding at the 3rd. Let 5 go on again. 3 followed it through. 1 followed that through. As you say, even now you still weren't sure that 5 was going to hold on. About half a length in the end?
Yeah, he's probably helped him by drifting wide, maybe as he's getting a little bit tired, but he's made 3 go all the way around the outside, and it has obviously helped him as he's got over the line. Okay, that result is on your screens now. 5, 3 and 1 is the result. 7-2 the winner. Time for us to have another quick break. Welcome back to Rpgtv. It's been a big night on the channel this evening. Enjoyed every moment of it. One more race to come, but before that, a chance to have a quick peek at tomorrow's headlines with Richard.
Yeah, the headline is Bright Spark Bubbly to light up Henlow Clash. The Henlow Maiden Derby final is the highlight tomorrow afternoon, 3:47. Rampant Redzer and Young Gun Cooper are Kilkenny aces. There's some Irish stuff to read from Michael Fortune. The Flying 4 races for tomorrow night from Central Park there on the corner. The Henlow Maiden Derby, a bigger preview for tomorrow, including Tony Bullen's verdict and the trainer views, and a nice picture of Martin Wiley, knocked off Dex Jack in Romford Thriller.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's cracking action all the way on the channel, because there is the Flying 4 for tomorrow, as Richard mentioned, at Central Park. Open race, full open race card at Central Park, and that Flying 4 features a maiden final, 2 heats of a standard and a 480 metre open race. I think it might be a ladies' race, the last one, but Ian, Dave and Ray Bourne will be here in the studio tomorrow. Paul, of course, the other track on a Sunday night, so plenty to look forward to there. But for now, we have one more live race for you here on this Saturday evening. This is an S2 at Crayford. Only 4 runners, which sometimes can make these races a bit interesting, but Buddy Ned will go off the favourite, that's for sure. Evens into 4 to 5, and it's 5-2 Trap 1 Carrigoon Biddy and Trap 2 Drive on Junior. Outside of the party, and some people like backing them when you get 4 runner races, is Swift Device at 10s. Richard, where would your vote be going here?
Well, my one mark on this card was a potential lay for Buddy Ned. Looks pretty short at the odds-on price earlier on today. I know 6 was always vacant and 5 was a non-runner yesterday. So I couldn't make my mind up actually between 1 and 2. So my way of making money on the race would be to lay 4. For a selection, I'll go with 1, Carrigoon Biddy. Normally likes to lead, but I think can turn second at worst. And I think Buddy Ned leads. He's still not home and hosed because he only just gets home 5:40. And I thought even if 1 turns behind it, she might just be able to beat him coming home.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would go with 1, Carrigoon Biddy. I thought 4 was one of those favourites. Could win, as you say. Could make slip clear and win what's only a 4-runner race, so could get the racing win. But also, as you said, has led in the past and been picked up, so no guarantee.
Throw in that Ben Green also fancies the 2-dog here as well, so he was looking to a post 4 as well.
Drive on Junior for Dave Lee, who's had a couple of winners at least on the card tonight.
Ben's one of our regular emailers, and I think he specialises in Crayford. So.
Okay, well, significant then, and the money's come for 2. Drive on Junior, 5-2 into 2s now, 7-4. The Blue Jacket. Imagine the favourite might ease out Buddy Ned again. Yeah, there you go, 5-4. 5-2 Carrigoon Biddy. Has the outsider got any chance? 1 in S3 last time out, Swift Device. So this might be a bit of a step up.
Yeah, last time in S2, albeit behind Glenbeg Val, got beaten 5th, beaten 12 lengths. It's a bit of a push.
In the same race as Buddy Ned that occasion. Buddy Ned was 7-4 favourite and Swift Device was only 4-1. But the odds are a lot further apart tonight. Runners just about loaded up then. Here we go. For the final live race of the night. Best of luck with your selections. Let's go to the track and join Robin Carter for race 12.
Last chance to choose your selection this evening here at the traps. And away we go. 4 fast away and leads from 2, 3 and 1 on the run to the first bend. Buddy Ned sets the pace of Belinda Green there and leads from 2. Drive on Junior. 1 the inside is Carrigoon Buddy and 3's the early bank marker is Swift Advice. A lap to go. 4 leads though 2. 1 in behind that and 3 the bank marker still though. But Buddy Ned for Belinda Green is the clear leader. There were 2 trying to close. Drive on Junior for Dave Lee. They're clear 1 in behind that and 3. Down towards the penultimate turns though. 4 the 1 to catch still. There were 2 is gaining ground and is gaining ground towards the inside of challenge of the final bend. 3 making steady progress from the back as well. 2's the leader. It's 2 that wins the finale.
Excellent stuff. Rocking Robin there on the mic. Thank you for that. And Drive on Junior for our emailer, Ben, who's a Crayford man. And only his second win, this dog, from 18 starts, but has done it well tonight, Richard.
His first win at Crayford. That's his 11th race at Crayford and his first win. And yeah, got himself in a really good position at the first bend, didn't he? Expected leader, Buddy Ned, was away in 4, but 2, Drive on Junior turned in a dangerous position in second, and was going to be the obvious and probably only challenger on the second lap, and so it proved. A really good run. And Dave Lee, I think that's 3 winners tonight for the kennel.
Yeah, he's signed off in style. Drive on Junior, as you said, has mowed down Buddy Ned, and another winner for the kennel there. They'll be pleased with that. The money came late as well for Drive on Junior, well supported on what's been a good night's racing at both our featured venues this evening. There's Crayford's final finish, 2 beating 4 and 3. Trap challenge, of course, already done and dusted. Let's have a look at the Naps table then. Richard just below Darryl now. Darryl's out in front with plus 11, but Darryl, Richard, Ali, Hobbsy, Errol and Dave all in profit, all doing well. Okay, the final results, let's have a look and see. There it is, confirmation. 6-4 in the end. The winner there, Drive on Junior, 5-4 favourite. The runner-up, and just confirmation there if you needed it, the Trap 1 hosed up in the Trap Challenge this evening. So, well, it's been a great night's racing, Richard. Enjoyed your company as ever.
Thank you, and you, Phil. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I think we'd take away from this evening a very good winner of the Rpgtv Scottish Derby.
Yeah, Braveheart Bobby. No surprise really to see the winning time fast in the final. Good dog himself. But the track record's been broken in 5 times in the Scottish Derby finals in the history.
Well, he didn't do the clock tonight, but he certainly did the business, Braveheart Bobby. for Pat Buckley, Darren McCoy, and all connected with the greyhound. A fantastic performance, a worthy winner of the Rpgtv Scottish Derby. We thoroughly enjoyed the action. Now, of course, Scottish Derby's done. All roads lead to Nottingham. A Braveheart Bobby will be there, so will we. Can't wait for that. But now, from us all at the studio, a very good night.
Racing Post Greyhound Television, brought to you in association with Bet365.com, Betfair, Betfred, Coral, Ladbrokes, Paddy Power